Yo, what's going on, everybody? You know it, the one and only Fat Belly here again with Coronado's Brick House today, and we're just gonna be chilling. Um, I haven't gone live in like a couple weeks. I kind of been missing it. I needed to go live. I didn't go live last week, so had to get it in this week. So I'm looking forward to it, and looking forward to talking to Coronado's Brick House. I haven't really talked really too much. I've been obviously engaged in the Pokemon market of the YouTube sphere. Staying engaged with everybody in the good old Pokemon little circle that I find myself in.
For a good year now, huh?
Longer than that, but shout out to Pokenomics. Shout out to Dan Ketchmel Collectibles, Old School Pokemon with Pokeflips, the Green Shiz, Professor Oak, my number one subscriber, Professor Oak. I fucks
He's
with
your
you.
number one.
He's my first. He's the one who made me do the YouTube.
Oh, dang. I was going to say, does he
Trainer.
watch your videos regularly? I have a few people that follow me like religiously.
Basic trainer. I fuck with him, even though he's a Metapoo guy. I still like him. Let's see, there's a lot of other people. Pokemon DNA. Fuck with him. You know, a lot of people in the Pokemon market. I feel like got a lot of interesting things going on. Um, you know, it's kind of cool to just sit back and just kind of take information in about things that are going on and you know different things because right now the Pokemon Japanese market is just going crazy for modern cards and it just it doesn't make any sense and you wouldn't necessarily know that unless you're like engaged with the hobby, which is something I'm kind of in. That's what I do on a regular basis. It's kind of just listen to Pokemon podcasts and shit. Listen to Joe Rogan and Pokemon podcasts. So shout out to all the YouTubers that making the lives and keeping me entertained while I'm at work. So hats
So
off.
you ain't working?
I mean, what's work? Just doing movements.
Dang, he pulled that card out.
Just doing movements, bro.
I felt that. I'm trying to make some big movements here.
Yeah. So I guess in the whole Pokemon sphere, like I said, Japanese is going crazy. The new Scarlet and Violet set came out a couple weeks ago now, or last week. It officially came out. I'm not too hot on it. I don't really like it. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not like it's that good either.
Do you still get the pre-release battle packs?
I did not get this one.
Have
I
you
think.
been getting the other ones?
Yeah, I got all the Sword and Shield ones, and I got all the pack arts. I think I'm just gonna stop from for there.
For the pack arts or the
For I think maybe both. I'm not sure. I might pick up a box. I don't know. I'm not sure.
So you got everyone for Sword and Shield though. I think that's pretty good for a collection standpoint, like you can kind of take a break and gauge if it's
That's kind of why
worth
I don't
continuing
want to
investing.
start into Sword and Shield because I feel like if or not Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet. Because if I do, I'm gonna have to keep going. I feel like just because I like the fact that I have the start to finish. I think I might be missing one, the Rebel Clash one, maybe. I'm not sure, but I know I got two Vivid Voltage ones that are worth. Last time I checked, they were worth like $80. That was like a long time ago though, so I haven't checked in a while.
You saying collecting every single one. We recently looked at my dad's comic book collection, and he was saying how he was a person to collect every single one when they first came out. If he liked it, he'd read them or he'd buy them. He tried to get all the chronological order of the ones that when they were coming out when he was doing that hobby.
Yeah, I mean that's how I am too. Like I'm like kind of like I need to complete it in a way. If I'm gonna start it, I might as well keep it going. I'm not necessarily that way of like cards specifically, whereas like I'm a completionist of sets. Like I don't really care about that. Like I can have one card from one set. I don't need to like. I'm not a completionist in that way, like some people are. But I actually do have a binder that I'm starting. Well, I already have started. I kind of want to get all the Wizards of the Coast hollows, but that's going to be a tough task, a long time.
I got a few of them, some reverse hollows, reverse hollow e-reader, Geodude's pretty good condition. A few other ones I don't know. I haven't really looked at my old binder.
Do you know if you have any of the hollows, like Gym or Neo hollows? So I pretty much have the base set. The only thing I need from base set is the Charizard, Blastoise. But
You want me to look?
if you want the Charizard and Blastoise for base set, which I have, they're just graded, so I don't care about it in my binder. It's just an open slot. And then
here's a box with a bunch of old cards that I didn't like sleeve up and stuff. I might have a few in here.
I do need a couple from Rocket and like Fossil and Jungle. There's like
these are all energy cards.
I need a Venonat and I need a Jolteon. Then Fossil, I need Dragonite. It's just not worth buying it. If I'm gonna buy it, it's just gonna be a beat up one, I think, just to have it in the binder. Your boy Mitch says, "What's good?" Some of the new cards.
Mitch DeGrave is out here. He follows you too. What up? How'd you find this stream?
All I know is I don't want any of those new cards. Those are bags. I want old cards.
Like one of these bad boys.
Oh, that's a level X. Is that level X?
No, not this one.
Electivire, I'd take that. That's a dope card. He's been see the dude. Yeah, Kyle is sleeping. My boy's been
I
up.
guess so.
He's about to win my next giveaway.
Hold up. I think I got one. Dark Machamp.
Ooh, that's one of my favorite cards, actually. I have that, though.
It's not hollow, though. It's just a regular.
That's actually my favorite dark card.
Really? It does got an awesome artwork.
It's pretty sick hollow. Yeah, I need to get my binder going.
Yeah, I probably got some better ones in my binder. I don't know. I'd have to look through like all these. I got a lot to look through, and
yeah, there's a few that I need.
So you don't need none of these? He's gone, huh? Said he don't need none of these.
What? Oh, I need that Snorlax.
Oh, so he does need them.
I need the Snorlax, yeah.
What about that one?
No, I don't need that one. Yeah, see? This is my jungle, so I need the Snorlax.
I had all these organized, but when I traded in my bulk, I went through all of my cards. Took me a little while.
Fossil. This is probably
You need one of these?
Base Set 2 is so underrated. Base Set 2 goes crazy.
Yeah, I know it is better.
Can't see the hollows, unfortunately. Let me take it out. Like, look at that.
I need to turn my blur off. Yeah, the blue. That's one reason why I collected the base set 2 over base
set 2 is so underrated. Just look at the Clefairy. You want to see? Okay, look at the Clefairy. Oh shit! Fucking throw it on the floor. Luckily, it's just
And
my
he's
phone.
about to lose all his value in one throw.
I probably did, bro. I dropped it on the floor. Shit's all broken. All right. That, you can't tell me that. You can't tell me this one looks better.
No, it
And
definitely
even
doesn't.
it's not focusing. This one's so much cleaner. The hollow pattern's sick.
Yeah, way better. It just looks better all around. It has the hollow pattern.
I'm glad they went to the Cosmos foil. I don't know what I think it's called Galaxy foil is the base set in Jungle and Fossil. It's kind of cool though that they're in that, like, base set Jungle Fossil have like their own hollow.
The OG Gyarados. Ooh, here's one I know you're gonna want. You're not ready for this card.
Hmm.
And I know for a fact you do not have this card.
Oh, that's a nice card. I like EX cards.
It's hard to see the
Like, look at this card.
foil.
This is probably my favorite card.
That's a nice one. You got Electrode.
Let me see. No, I don't actually. Oh wait, he's in Jungle. No, yeah, I do.
Yeah, he is in Jungle.
Yeah, I have him. She's cheap.
I think that was all my OG cards out of that box.
Dude, these Vileplumes though are sick. Check out this Vileplume with the swirl.
Actually, we should have asked Mitch where his Pokemon cards are at.
Can't
What
really
he's
see
got
the
for 'em.
swirl, but that Vileplume is sick with the swirl. And I picked this up for $10.
Can't go wrong. You been going to that one store pretty regularly still?
Not regularly, but I went there. I wouldn't say regularly. Got this other one for $10 too. It was on the Vileplume kind of day.
Nice.
And this ugly for alligator. This thing's ugly.
Base at Raichu.
Thing's ugly.
Oh, I just looked at that card on my stack. He's in this here somewhere.
Card's ugly.
Yeah.
It's only $5 though.
This card?
Yeah.
That's funny that you pulled that out and I just looked at that out of my collection.
But I've been picking up autograph cards lately. I've been
I
enjoying.
heard you got some cards for me.
I've been enjoying some autographs.
Yeah, what have you been doing in that space? These have been booming. This card is near pretty much mint, bro. And I know you got the Gengar that I gave you. The Gengar with the swirl.
Modern Japanese.
Oh.
The new set, there's a card, Melanie, I don't fucking remember. Melanie. In Japanese, it's like going for like $400-$300 or something like that.
Wow.
But in English, it's not even touching that.
Why do you think that is? Just different markets, different priorities, different.
I mean, people are speculating is because the Chinese are coming into Pokemon and they're going into Japanese.
You know why? Here's the economic factor of that Chinese play. Really, in China, like the middle class has been like booming ever since the 80s pretty good, and with all the economic growth that China has, you got all these people that are making money working and doing all these sort of things for the government and
all the rich people
own
put
personal lives.
their money into something.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
they've been making
something
money.
that they can actually hold.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like I don't even think Chinese people can own like gold and silver and like things like that.
Right. Yeah. I don't know
100%
how that
sure on
works
that. Don't
either. I
quote
wouldn't
me
be
on that. I
surprised.
don't know, but I feel like that's something that could be a thing. That's why they have like their central banking system, and like they have to pay through that.
Do you think that's coming to America?
I don't think it'll.
Not central. Well, yeah, central, like a central. What? How do you see that playing out? I know we've been
It
talking
wouldn't
about
work because it
investing in
wouldn't
gold,
be It has to be backed by something. The only way things are gonna work is like if it's backed by something. And
but the
like,
U.S. dollar hasn't been backed by anything since the 80s or
well, I
70s or
know,
whenever,
but it's
and
it's
that's when it
it's
started
like
to.
hidden backed by being the world trade dollar or the world,
Which
oil and
people have been saying might flip, but
that's,
I don't
yeah,
know.
which is a thing that could possibly happen. And none of these really currencies are backed by anything, which is kind of, you know insane.
Right, it is kind
Um,
of interesting to think
Russia and
about, you know.
China though were trying to like acquire a lot of gold since like COVID, and it was speculated that they were trying to back their currency, but I don't know if that's true or not.
China and Russia together have been working on initiatives to create giant trade routes around the world, and they're trying to get a lot of countries to sign off on it. And China wants to be big time partners with Africa because one, they have like a lot of these resources that are untapped, like gold and all sorts of other stuff for their production and upkeep because you know that they produce so much materials and trade with the whole world.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a scary thought to think about like our dollar being worthless, but it could be a thing.
And here we are with these.
Yeah, but what, you
I
know,
mean, you'd be able to trade some Chinese people for these.
it's kind of, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if the
If they're
dollar
getting into
fails,
the hobby and buying.
well, I mean, if the dollar fails, then the cards would fail with it too.
One, the
Everything.
dollar is not going to fail unless the whole system
Right,
collapses.
exactly. No, you're not wrong. But that's when they would roll out this central banking system, like digital currency and whatnot.
It's coming this summer. It's already coming.
Yeah, but how was it implemented is the thing.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a progression over time. You know, it's something we'll definitely be seeing in our lifetime, with it being the first year that it's actually rolling out.
They'd have to
There's
make,
been speculation like they're going to be able to control like what you spend your money
but
on.
they'd
They're going to
have
have
to make
time limits on.
businesses pay. They'd have to make businesses pay their employees in it, and then they would have like probably give you like a card or like some app that you can use on your phone, and then that's how you would get paid, and then that's how you would spend your money.
Right. And really, it will almost eliminate the need for a bank. Why would you need to have your money in a bank when the government has the ability to just be the bank now?
Yeah, and that's not a good thought to think about.
Yeah, and it's all going to be managed by the Federal Reserve because they're the one who print and operate the money schemes,
I don't
and
know if that's going to happen
they're
though.
not they're
It
not
could.
federal and
It
they're
could.
not reserved, so I don't know. They're not reserving nothing, and then they're not even a federal. They're a private entity.
I could see it in our lifetime, but I'm not going to like say it's going to happen, but I could see it being a possibility.
Well, the fact is the
And
US
it's good
digital
to
dollar
prepare
is going to
for it
be here
if
this
it's going
summer,
to happen.
which is why I've been saying the gold thing and silver, even like you said, silver boom this week. What's up with that word there? Like pretty
That
big
was
or what?
booming from the banks collapsed, and then it just even boomed even more. I'm not even sure. I didn't even look at it today, but it boomed hard yesterday. It jumped a whole dollar silver, and that's a lot.
Yeah, silver, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. You know, the gold and silver might be a better hedge than Pokemon cards right now. Just because of the digital dollar is coming, man. And think about it. It's gonna affect every American's life.
Yeah, silver is almost at $25 an ounce, which is
Hmm.
pretty high. I don't remember what the peak of silver was. I mean, I know it was $50 back in like 2010 10 or 11 or whatever it was. But
After the recession.
back in COVID, it dropped super hard to like $18, and then it went up pretty fast after that. To probably, let me see.
I bet you people were feared of silver. They probably sold some of their silver and traded it for other things, especially think about COVID. The whole world markets have been kind of a whole
Dang, it
switch and
dropped.
change.
So in 2019, it was at like $15, and then it jumped to like $17, and then it dropped all the way down to $12, $13 for like a little bit, and then it's stayed around 15, and then it jumped up to 28 was the peak. It dropped all the way. Dang, that's pretty crazy. It dropped all the way to 13, and then like 2 months later, it went up to 28. It doubled in like 2 to 3 months. That's pretty insane.
So you're seeing that market can do that. That's why I'm saying like
It's
this is
very
probably a good time
volatile.
to be buying it. Silver.
Yeah, but
It's interesting too because with with gold, like how it's you got more value per the weight. It's easier to
yeah,
hold on to that versus holding on to a bunch of silver too.
I like to do like, for me personally, like 2 to 1, like value.
For every silver, you're gonna have one gold.
No, just like double the value of gold as I do silver.
Mm.
That's just what I am right now, and that's kind of what I like to be at.
Yeah, one thing with like the investing, it's just like it's always fluid, You don't want to be all in one thing at one time and then like how we're big into Pokemon, the market's down right now. Like maybe it's a good time to be buying them. Maybe it's like just down. Like, it's like not a priority anymore for me at least.
Yeah, I think it's down because it's not as hyped. One, and like all the hype right now is into modern,
The new
so
cards that yeah.
the new cards.
People
So
are definitely buying
that's where the
that.
money's flowing to.
Yeah.
So it flows to that, and the other stuff, the middle stuff kind of gets just sat on eBay for a while.
Do you think it would be good to sell my cards individually on eBay? I've been trying to think of like my exit plan on some of my cards, and it's just like, is
It
eBay the best bet of it?
depends on
I mean,
where
they
you're
take
trying to sell.
10% of the trade too. I know we were talking about doing that card show in the summertime, and we're gonna have a
That's
booth there.
already
So
coming up. That's this weekend.
that's this weekend. Are we doing it,
I didn't buy a table.
bro? I thought we were already on that.
There's a
I'm ready to
there's a
sell.
card show. This isn't necessarily a card show. The
Oh, it's
card
a
shows in the
collectible.
summer, yeah. Which I could probably get a table, which I probably will. I'll probably bring a bunch of like sports, Marvel, Star Wars.
I'm bringing all my cards. Sports, Marvel, or sports, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. Uh, yeah, I'm bringing all of it. That's really all I collect for cards. I'm bringing everything. But come by it. Come check us out. What's the address? Give us a date. Who's ever watching? Let's
And
go.
check
Bring it
this
on
out.
in. I'll trade.
I would like to trade actually. I kind of want to trade some people some cards because I want to get out of some cards, but I don't want to sell it.
Yeah.
Like I'm debating
It's
if I should
trading has
sell
that nostalgic level too.
this card or keep it. It's
Does it
actually
mean anything
sweet.
to you?
It's my rarest card I own.
Really?
Yeah.
What is the value on that makes it so rare? Is it rare by value or
Well,
rare as
it's a
like number
pop
wise?
two. It's a pop two, and only two are higher.
There's
So
only a 2 population on that
there's
7,
two eights and there's two sevens.
and you have one of them 4 graded like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's by rarity. Yeah, I get it. A 1 out of 4 in the whole world. What's the
Yeah.
value on it?
Well, I'm on eBay right now, and I mean it's not gonna sell, but this PSA 8,
So one of them is out there for sale too.
it's on
Didn't
bid.
you sell your Venusaur base at 10 for that price?
Yeah, this is on auction though. It's not going to sell. But I could probably put mine up on eBay. I was thinking for maybe like $600.
I saw somebody this week. He had an Aaron Rodgers rookie card. I don't know if it was signed. I think it was. He put it on Facebook, local Green Bay, and
But I mean, this is what it was worth. But that's not what it's worth anymore, in my opinion. I think it's
right.
worth more.
Your boy Basic Trainer's in here. He said he might get his flipper license next month. So excited.
Yeah, bro. I think
What is a flipper license? I'm curious. And I actually have another license that I want to mention, but I'm gonna hold off on that. We can go
it's
on to
when
this.
you're in the pool and you're just flapping around. You don't know what's going on. That's what you call your flipper's license.
So like what I was doing when I was flipping Pokemon cards.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, but good to see you, Basic Trainer.
Yeah, welcome to the show. I see we got 3 people regularly watching. I mean, thanks for tuning in, you know. I mean, without you guys, it kind of makes it happen. For one thing, this is me and Alex just having a conversation, or I mean, Fat Belly, but you know, like we want to have open discussions with the viewers. So we just appreciate you guys tuning in. Give a 1 in the chat if you're here. Put a 1 in the
Definitely,
chat.
definitely.
Throw an
I
emoji sign.
definitely appreciate Basic Trainer. He puts out some pretty great content. I definitely appreciate him and enjoy what he does. He's the world record holder of all time live Pokemon. So he does his thing. He does his thing for sure.
Dang, he be posting 6 hours. He's the most streamed guy. Is this like his full-time job?
Yeah,
How do you do that? Let us know. Braxton with the 1. Let's go. Throwing up the flex emoji. Okay, we're out
Basic
here. The
Trainer's got
boys are out
a
here.
11 hour and like 48 or 49 minute stream.
Dang.
I think I might have tuned into that one or one of his long streams. I was on all freaking night, like how they always do it, all night streams.
Yeah, so I'm curious too about your YouTube channel growth and how that's like been going on. You know, I mean, me and you kind of got back into it at the same time. I think I kind of been producing like more regular content, but you've been doing like strictly live streams and shorts. You're at 352 right now. You know, congratulations. That's another milestone checkpoint. I remember when
Yeah,
you
it's
said
just a slow grind.
100.
Yeah, I mean, I've been enjoying making lives and talking to you guys. I kind of want to, hopefully get some other people on here one of these days and talk about different things. Like I'm engaged and in tune with the Pokemon market, so like I've been talking to like people that really aren't. So I kind of want to talk to somebody that really knows stuff that's uh, going on right now in the Pokemon
Like
atmosphere.
Basic Trainer, if he's streaming all the time, you should have him on here. In fact, send him the link right now. Hop on here.
I've been to, on Basics Live once before.
Yeah, well, he needs to come on yours.
I mean, he's always down. He can. I'll send the link in the chat if anybody wants to hop up in here. I don't care. I'll let anybody in.
Yeah, you know, that's one thing I notice about the Lego community. For those who don't know, my channel, it's Coronado's Brick House, and I'm pretty involved in the Lego community. And I've seen that there's been other Lego live streamers that have tuned into my live streams, and we just kind of formed a connection. Shout out Macro Bricks. He put me on his community page and probably got me like 15 new subs in like a day. And like he tunes into some of my stuff pretty regularly and comments every now and then.
Nice. Yeah. Have you been making shorts and stuff lately and doing all that?
So I've been doing for a good 3-month period daily shorts, and it's helped me grow my YouTube channel from 250 subscribers up to 731 right now. And you know, I mean, you can get pretty regularly like
Yeah, I kind of
one
stuck with
to
Pokemon.
10 subscribers a day doing that, and it's been beneficial. But I mean, just the amount of time to even buy Lego sets, find them, build them. It's a process. And I prefer to do the building on live stream now. So my channel's been changing and evolving too. And like this one took me 6 hours to build on a live stream only for me to drop it like the next day. And like, I got to rebuild it.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
That's pretty
I
funny.
mean, it's stuff like that. So I got a little discouraged, but this is my latest pickup.
Yeah, I've been enjoying the live streams. I like doing them. Nice. What is that? A little Harley?
Harley Davidson Fat Boy. So this set, brand new, unopened, which is what this box is selling for about $120 right now. And I've been looking for that Lego set for, I don't know, ever since I got back into Lego, and I got my first Mustang Lego set. This one right here.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Jared. Keep it in the box.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. But
I mean, if you enjoy building it, it's just the
I
same thing with Pokemon. Like, don't open your boxes. I mean, but if you're enjoying opening it, then go ahead. You know.
Yeah, so this one might get opened eventually, but I'm in no rush to even build it. Like I got probably like
You
six,
got other
seven
stuff to
other
build or what?
boxes sealed. Yeah. Like I'm not really, and there's some that I've been trying to leave uh sealed up. I bought one Lego, like a 4-year-old Lego set for Lego Batman for $5 last year when I was getting back into this, and I just sold it last Friday for $25. So that's pretty good. 500
Yeah.
times percent return on the dollar value of that set. It was my first Lego flip ever. And like, so I got boxes that I've just been holding on, and I know I could easily resell in the
You're getting
future.
your flipper's license. It sounds like.
So about that too, yeah, that and one other license that I've been thinking about getting again is a reselling license, but with the ATF. Put a one in the chat if you know what that's for.
Dude's trying to smuggle drugs or what?
No, firearms.
Oh.
So being able to just say, hey, you buy one, I could be the middleman. You know how like when you normally
Yeah.
buy one, you got to do a background check, sign these paperworks and stuff.
You gotta sign
Basically,
it
I
for
could
it.
just be that person for you, and then I could get them and then give them to you.
Dude's trying to be an arms dealer.
I've been thinking about it for years, but I just never actually did it. And it seems like a pretty straightforward process and only takes 2 months to get the return on the yes or no. So it's better to just have and not use it than to not use it or not have it, you know?
I mean, do you need it?
No, but if I ever were to buy another gun or anything again, you know, I could just do that. Like personally, like I wouldn't have
I
to have
guess.
somebody else
I just
do
feel
it.
like
Like I
that's just
could do it
doing too
myself.
much. But that's just me. I mean, it's a cool thing to have, I guess. But
Yeah, well, it all
anything
started
you need to get
because
your distributor's license back, bro. Let me get some cheap booster boxes.
yeah, about that one. That's probably I need to get a retail space first. So I mean, if you help me do that, we could do it, you know.
Yeah.
Look at how that one guy started that shop in Green Bay. He just paid that thing, and they always have 3 people there, like always
I think he
buying,
does
selling, and
like
trading.
consignments too for some of it. Like he'll have his section that he buys stuff from people. And then he'll have like a consignment section where he just like has people sell their cards and then he makes a little profit on it. And then he
Yeah,
orders all like, the new booster boxes and whatnot. That's his product. And then he'll sell that for whatever his, you know, profit margin is.
right, exactly. And already I'm going to tell you right now the Pokemon profit margin's about 20%.
I haven't been to that store in a while. But
Yeah.
see, so they were selling Scarlet and Violet for 120, I think.
One thing, yeah, too, is like you sell it at the street price value, you know? I mean, they say MSRP, but they be selling boxes cheaper and boxes more. So,
Yeah, I mean 120 is kind of expensive, but MSRP also did raise on the Scarlet and Violet. MSRP is now like 160, where it was like 144. I don't know what it was, but
so
it's
Pokemon's just trying to make more profit.
yeah. So now MSRP on Pokemon product is higher.
So that's either Pokemon raising that price or the distributors, because I'm pretty sure if you don't have that distributor middleman, that's when you
It's
could take all
Pokemon
the
raising the
product in.
price.
Is it?
Pokemon, yeah. So distributors. So if you're getting product from a distributor, most some people are paying like like around 84, $85. Now it's up to like $88 or something like that they have to pay. So the distributors are paying more, and then also the MSRP on the product is higher.
Yeah, that's the
But I mean,
way it goes.
if you're getting the box for $88 and then you're selling it for 120, I mean that's a pretty decent profit margin.
Yeah, but then you also have to pay taxes on it. That's another reason why I kind of stepped out of it, because like for the amount of volume and stuff that I was doing, one, they just stopped sending me the product, so
Yeah, but I
that's an
don't think
issue
you have to
there.
pay taxes on it if you're selling it for your business. If you're buying it for your business, you're not
Yeah,
going
I mean,
to.
you can still deduct the buying and the selling, but even hold on to it, you get taxed for it, bro. That's where it's like another thing. Like it's just this middleman, Uncle Sam, wants to be in on it, and that's another thing. Going back to that digital currency aspect, is the government will be able to see all them transactions. Cash transactions are going to be going out the window.
Yeah, but that's why we need to keep cash a thing. Cash is still king, bro, and it
Yeah,
needs to
it
stay
still
king.
is king and it still is right now and it still will be for a while, but the more the banks get money back in their hand and if the Fed keeps buying it, the more they're just going to push it out digital. Think about it. If they're printing money out of thin air, they're going to print numbers
That's
on a
why I
computer
never.
instead
That's
of
why I
actual money.
don't like when people are like, "Oh, just credit card or use a card." Like Lambeau Field, it's just like, man, like they're.
Lambeau Field's part of the instigator. They're in on
I
actually
know, but if
bringing that
more
shift.
people start doing that, let's say Walmart decided to do that, we're card only. Like that would be, that's how things will start getting implemented. Businesses have to pay their employees in the digital currency, and then these companies have to start accepting the digital currency. They'd be like, "Well, sorry, we don't take cash. We only take card."
Well,
Like
it's coming this summer to every store near you.
every store near you. I don't know about that, bro. I think there's going to
It's
be a
not going to
lot
be
of
everybody,
pushback.
but
There's going to be a
that's
lot
what
of.
I'm saying. I just want to have more options to be able to where I'm not limited by one thing. I don't want to be stuck in the digital currency. I don't want to be stuck with all this cash. I don't want to be stuck with Pokemon cards. I don't want to be stuck with
Yeah,
Legos,
but
but I
that'd be a
diversified
good thing to
myself with
have, though,
pets.
wouldn't it? If there's a digital currency, wouldn't Pokemon cards, Legos, gold, guns, the other, I'll say it, I don't care, guns, ammo, things like that. Wouldn't all that stuff be a good thing to have? Yeah, probably.
I mean, I guess it depends on
'Cause
where the
that's
where
real
the
value. That stuff is real. Well, I mean, Pokemon cards, gold, is it real value? I don't know.
gold
But
has a real value. It's had the most value out of all these
it
things
has
combined for the longest time.
it has somewhat of a real value. It has a value because people perceive it to have value too, though.
So
It's
just
kind
like
of like
Bitcoin.
Pokemon and Bitcoin. People perceive it to have a value. It's just more proven than anything else because it does have a little bit of a function, but not much.
Hmm.
So I don't know, but yeah, I guess I don't know. What I've been doing is picking up some different autos.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's kind of been your thing for like the good like half a year now. Every car I see you be buying is autograph cards.
Yeah, I've been enjoying autographs. So
That's why I think it's kind of cool too that you doing the YouTube thing. It kind of lets me see what you're doing daily, even though
nice little
like
Mugsy Bogues. These are new pickups.
online
Yeah, I'm
on
gonna hope.
eBay.
I'm hope.
On eBay.
Yeah.
So that tells me I need to post my cards on eBay.
Well, what are you trying to sell?
Trying to sell my base set or PSA 9 cards.
You're really trying to get out?
I'm trying to get out of some of them. Yeah, I'm trying to get out because I have other investments I'm trying to make. Strictly property, real estate by Lambeau Field.
I mean, I wouldn't do auctions if you're really trying to sell, but
I mean,
if
I
you
don't need to sell them right now either. So I mean, I could post them for a price I wanted, but
that's the best thing to do then. If you don't need to sell it, then just put it on eBay for a price you're comfortable selling. If the market is too low on a card that you think is worth more, then I wouldn't sell it unless you need the money. That's just
which
my opinion.
I don't need the money, but it's like, okay, if I sell them, I could have like $2,000 in my pocket to do whatever else with. But like I said, I'm not like in like
Yeah, I guess it just depends on how you look at it. Like I would rather have my $2,000 in my cards, if I'm being honest. But
yeah.
that's
And
just
that's where I was too.
personal.
For the
That's just
last 2 years, I've been hanging on to them, and right now it's like, I bought them to do that, and now I'm ready to sell them. Like,
right. I mean, I guess yeah. I mean, if your intention was to buy the cards to eventually sell them, I mean, who knows when the right time is? I don't know if there ever is a
right.
right time. You know,
As long as you're in the market, that's what
it
they
could
say.
be a
The
right.
biggest investors and who've made their fortunes, like Mark Cuban, he's been one of them to
Yeah,
say, like, the thing is just be in the market on the right day. Like, you never know when it's going to change, but as long as you're in it, you have some playability on it.
yeah,
And that's
and I
why I
think
want to diversify into all these different fields, because then it's like,
I
okay,
think that makes sense in like the stock market and like things like that. But like for collectibles, I feel like if you're not enjoying it anymore, then it's time to let it go in a way. Whereas
and that's how
like
I've been feeling about Pokemon. It's not like I'm been
I'm st-
buying new cards and
and I'm still enjoying my cards, even if I wasn't buying new cards, I still feel like I would still enjoy them. So that for me isn't the time. It's not the right time to sell, but that's for me.
right. That's why I like your title on this episode too. Live market talk. Are we winning? Are we losing? Do we even care?
I
I'm curious
Yeah.
to know what other people who are out here too. Everybody in here, like, let us know what you're in, and
I
like,
mean, if you got your
are you
flippers license, you're probably winning. I mean, if you're buying cards to so say you buy a card just to sell the next couple weeks. You buy a card on auction, you spend $70 for it. The lowest listing on eBay is $99.99. You post yours for $90. Boom, you profit what, $10? I mean,
and
if
then
you keep
then
you just
that's
keep doing that.
eBay's tax. Then you got the government tax,
I mean, you'd still profit like $10.
but you're getting it digitally. Think about
Huh?
it. You're getting, if you sell on eBay, you're getting digital dollars back. You can
Well,
convert
yeah,
it
it
into
goes
real
through your
dollars,
PayPal
but
or your bank account or whatever.
that's what I'm saying. It's all going to be digital. It already is.
Yeah, that's why I like to hold something.
Go ahead, hold a little something then.
Like this Hidden Fates pack, I like to hold it.
Hold on to these then while you're at it too.
Let me see them. What you got?
I got a lot of good stuff. I got a whole binder too, but these are all my base set ones.
I
I
don't
know
really
you
care if
do
you
not have,
honest.
this is one of the second gen cards. It's the
Ponyta.
reverse hollow Ponyta. It's like one of the first reverse hollows they made.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about that card to be honest. It's a
Yeah.
fucking Ponyta. I mean, I like Legendary Collection. It's a dope card, but like, it's a Ponyta.
Yeah.
I'd give you $3 for
I'll take that deal.
it.
Trying to hold the little greenbacks.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I mean, do you, man?
That's why it's interesting though, because it's like, okay, I bought this for half of its value. I could sell it and double my money like today.
But see, then why aren't you trying to make plays like that? So this is the thing about the Pokemon market flippers license, a quote unquote basic trainer, or other people in the hobby that like to throw out those words of flippers license. is you buy something for a good value price, like you just bought that, and then you sell it, and then you just keep doing it. You're engaged with the Lego market, so you know what's undervalued and you know what's a good deal on certain products. So you can continue to make those plays because you're able to find those deals because you
I
know the
think
market.
really I just look at Facebook every day. If I get notifications on my
But
phone, Legos for
you're
sale.
you're active. You're active in that market, whereas other people aren't. You might be one of the few people that are in the area that are actually active doing that stuff. Maybe somebody goes on Facebook Marketplace. Oh, let's see what Legos they got.
I've
But
been to the local Lego convention actually, and there's a lot of people actually that were there the day I went. I was only there for like an hour and a half, and I saw plenty of people come and go, all ages. I'm talking 3-year-old kids up to 80-year-old men trying to sell their collection. Like, it's kind of crazy, you know. I feel like that's one reason why I shifted over to Lego too, is that like it's more accessible for all ages, and like it has some other factors than just like collecting the cards or playing them. Like you can build them and display them. It's a little more interactive in that way. It's almost like a puzzle, and I've seen that their values over the long term have just keep going up. So that's another thing that made me go to Legos is like, you know, uh over the last 40 years, Legos have they're pretty much almost on par with gold when you think about it. I know you said gold's way better on that other day we talked about that, but it is better, but it's also Legos aren't far behind. It's a good thing to get into, is just what I'm saying.
yeah, okay. I
It is
think
a
it's just
lot bigger. It is a
more
lot
risky.
bigger.
It just has more of a risk.
Look at this right here, this stack versus like two Lego pieces. Like it's almost the same size too. So that's another factor to consider.
Mm, I mean, cards are way like
That's what
this
I'm
right
saying.
here.
Like cards, this right here is a lot less than
Like this
one
stack
Lego set.
alone is probably like $500 plus.
Right. Give you a little greenbacks. Look
Mhm.
like you're holding a greenback stack.
Like this Mark Sanchez.
He's gonna get the Rogers card when he goes there.
I know you like Mark Sanchez.
You're gonna get the Rogers signed Jets card.
No, I'm gonna
Just
look
like
for.
I know you got Favre up on the Vikings signed. I know you got that card somewhere.
I don't. It'll be a card that I'll be. It's on my list though.
Really? I think that'd
Brett
be a
Favre
good card for
autos.
the local area. Like Justin said, you know, he's local in Green Bay. He collects Packer cards.
Yeah.
So I mean,
With
there's a
Jordan
local
Love,
market.
bro. Oh man, his card skyrocketed. Insane.
That's because the people are ready for the Love era.
Oh, the sports
Green
card
Bay is
market.
ready now. They're ready for Love. The
Yep.
question is, will he be like what Rodgers was to Favre? You know, like obviously Rodgers came into big steps and like he performed after a few years. You know, like he won a Super Bowl and everything. But like, will
No.
Jordan Love be that next step for Green Bay?
No. Highly unlikely that they do anything this season, and then he'll have a lot of pressure on the next season, and highly unlikely that he'll produce.
And then they'll trade him or sell him or buy somebody else.
They just won't sign him because, well, he'll be on his fourth year. Fourth year, they'll extend him for 5 years, so he'll have 2 years, and after that, they probably won't sign him again. That's my guess. That'd be my guess. He could come out and be good, and then I could eat my words on that one.
Every time I've seen him come out to play, you know, people were bashing him like, "Oh, he's not that good." But looking at his stats, actually,
I
he's all right though. He's not like a bad quarterback
I
from his
think he's
stats.
better right now, though. I feel like I'd rather have him in than Rogers. Like, why not give him a chance? He's
Yeah,
mobile. He can maybe make plays. He's probably more of a risk taker.
he probably will not make as big of bombs or throw as accurately as Rodgers though.
Maybe.
Maybe I guess we'll have to wait and see. That's why I'm trying to buy
Yeah,
that real estate right up by Lambeau Field, man. That's going to be a play. You want to talk about making big money moves? That's it right there.
I don't know.
I'm trying to make $500,000 on a transaction. You feel me? That's what I'm trying to do over there.
Yeah, but they just so the thing is, in my opinion, could be this is speculating. It's a good speculate in my opinion. So they just banned house like rentals in Ashwaubenon for you can only rent a house for 6 days now. So if you're renting a house, you have to rent it for 6 days. So like all those like Packer houses, um, they have to be rented now for 6 days. So in my opinion, the value of those houses are going to go down because I feel like it's just going to have less like flow of people that are going to be in those houses, and it could potentially trickle down to a lot of the houses around by Lambeau. So
Hmm.
the prices of houses around Lambeau could potentially go down, in my opinion, just because of that. Could be completely wrong, and I might not know what I'm talking about, but
The
it's I think
Packers have been slowly buying all the land around Lambeau Field in Ashwaubenon for the last 25 years.
so. They probably are the ones that wanted to ban the houses because people would rent the house just for the weekend and come for the Packer game.
They're
But now
trying
if
to
you have
get
to
those
rent the
people
house for
out of
six
those houses.
days,
They're trying to get them out of those houses so they can buy up the land. The
probably
Packers are $1 billion
say the
organization.
house is 500 grand. Well, if now you can't rent it out or whatever, and the property just, I mean, it's probably less valuable if you can't rent it out for, you know, the Packer game because you don't, nobody wants to rent it for 6 days because they're only going to be there for three.
I'm not trying to rent it. I'm trying to live there.
No, I know. I'm just saying though, like that could potentially have a trickle down effect on all the houses in that
Hmm.
area.
But if the Packers are willing to write me $500,000 check, sign me up. Like I said, I'm trying to make $500,000 on a deal. I'm trying to play the long term game, man. You want to talk about investing? That's it right there.
I feel you. It's the long play.
That's why I'm trying to get out of Pokemon to have extra cash on hand, but it's whatever. I mean, they don't sell, they don't sell. If I have them, they have them. Who knows? Maybe Pokemon will go up again with the rise of the digital dollar. I mean, people are going to have money, and it sounds like if the government has their full control on it, they're going to be limiting how much you can spend in a specific time frame. They're going to limit how much you can
Yeah, but I think if that's a
who
thing,
you're
sorry
trading
to
to.
interrupt you, but I feel like having stuff like this is a good thing to have in those types of like. That's just my opinion, though.
That's what I'm saying. If people are gonna be like forced to spend their money, like people are gonna be doing it on stuff like this too. Like,
Like, come on now, can't tell me
yeah,
you don't want Admiral Akbar.
that does not look like Admiral Akbar.
What?
That man looks like a dirty sausage.
That's 26 out of 150, boy.
Pretty rare, huh?
That's for $12.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
it's just interesting to see that because like obviously I saw you get into the Pokemon hobby. You got me into the Pokemon hobby. We've come up on deals together, made trades together, make sales together, and we're live streaming talking about it years later. So it's just interesting to see you pick up those uh, autograph cards over the last half a year, and that's one of your latest pickups.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I've just been enjoying the autographs. Like, I don't know. I feel like you can get some cheap, undervalued autographs. Like, why not? I mean, it's kind of stupid if you think about it. Like, why would I want Admiral Akbar's autograph? But like,
There's rarity to it.
it's kind of cool. Like, he's got like like one of the key quotes of like all time in a movie. Like,
Yeah,
if you say it's a trap, like everybody knows what that is. Like,
it's literally a meme on the internet. Like, yeah,
yeah, like it's a quote that like will go down, for forever type thing. So it's just kind of Kind of cool. Just different things, and like one of my first autographs actually was this one right here, Goku, which I mean it's just kind of cool. Why not have a Goku autograph? And like the thing about this is like if you wanted to get somebody to autograph your card, like you have to pay these people anyway. Like I don't know how much his autograph would be. Let's just say $40 to get an autograph.
You're saving money by buying them autographed. You're
Pretty
saying.
much. Like it might be stupid to buy this card right here, this Mark Sanchez, but I literally bought it for $23. It cost $20 just to grade the card. Like I feel like you just can't beat it, you know? It costs
Yeah.
$20 to grade the card. Like I'm buying the card for the price of the grading fee.
Right.
So like why not?
Somebody else who did all that, and then he's like, I need to sell this now.
Yeah, I mean if you have to sell, you have to sell. That's why, like, you just want to position yourself not to have to sell ever. Like the way I buy cards is, poof, this money's gone. It's just gone. Like this money right now doesn't exist. When I buy a card, that money is gone. That's the way I look at it.
See, I
Because
look at it the opposite. I'm already like thinking ahead. Like, okay, this is the value it has now. This is the value it could potentially be, and then I'm not in a rush to sell any of them. So it's like, too, like I'm with you on that boat. Like when you buy, we don't know when the sell date is going to be, but if it's a good time and a good sell, like why not just do it then? Especially if you find no value in it, like you said earlier. That's kind of where I'm at with some of the cards too. It just doesn't have the same value to me personally that it held like during COVID. And
yeah, I just me personally, I just look at the cards like the money's just gone. Like yes, they have value, but to me, that money no longer exists. Like that's just how I look at it. Like when I buy a card, the money's gone.
I get what you're saying, and I have that thought process as well. But it's also like I look at it as a different value as well. Like I don't not calculate it in my overall net worth value. Like I've been calculating my net worth like weekly for years now. And I suggest if you're
Yeah,
somebody who's out there right now investing or
you
hustling or
do or you don't.
trading, buying, selling, like be sure you track your own finances before you do any of that stuff.
Because I don't calculate cards in my net worth.
Right. And like there's just I don't know. It's good to know what you have. And
Yeah,
that's all
definitely.
I've
I
been just
should.
seeing as a steady incline of my own net worth. So it's like, okay, I sell literally every possession I have. It's like I know I will be on top of all my
You were
finances.
always
And
though. You always like to sell like everything you have. You've always been somebody that just
I've
sells.
always been a flipper, man. He talking about that flipper license. You're talking to a professional flipper over here for
You've
years.
always just liked to sell your stuff, whereas like I, I don't sell anything.
I
I
know,
don't
but
know.
it's also like led down this other avenue too. It's like, I have all these material possessions, and at the end of the day, like, what is a material possession,
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Like you're trying to move the money into something that you see has more worth to you, and that's like why you should sell your collectibles is to do things like that.
Just making another movement.
Like you shouldn't sell your collectibles just because like you
I need
shouldn't
the money.
you shouldn't sell it just to have the money just sit in your bank account. In my opinion, like if you're
Right.
gonna sell it, you need to have it for a reason. Or
That's what I'm saying. The US inflation rate, due to how much money they've been printing, has just been astronomical. The value of the dollar is almost like useless.
yeah,
Fat Hot Having, welcome to the stream, brother. What's the latest news on your latest big deal transaction? Can you give a little chat peek?
big deals.
You got it? Are you waiting on a day, or what's the move on that?
What about this auto?
Who is that? Is that a UFC fighter?
No,
Or is that fucking what's his name? Frodo Baggins.
nope.
Who else am I trying to think of? The Taking the Hobbits to Isengard. What's his name? Ryan Seacrest looking. Alex is out here on some suspect shit. Orlando Bloom. That's who I was trying to. Alex is deep out here on them cards. He's making Hail Mary plays on them purchases. He said, "Poof."
Poof.
He said that shit's better than the
You
casino.
want to see money disappear?
Go to the casino.
Poof. Yeah, the casino will get you every time, bro.
I know, that's why I stopped going.
I was up, and then I spent all my money on the bets, because I just put on what I was up, and then I ended up losing it all.
Man, we've all been there, you know. And that's
All
where it's like
right.
another thing I've been thinking about too, like deep personal stuff. Like, why would I take my inheritance and put it onto something like that's just taking my money away? It's literally stealing from my
Because
wealth and
it's
net worth.
fun, bro.
Yeah, but you can also have way more fun by not doing that. Think about how much money you spend on a casino night. Now take that money and go do something more fun.
Yeah, but I don't spend that much.
Well,
Like
you could
I could
probably have
spend
more
I could
fun.
spend $50 in a night doing a night of drinking too.
Yeah. And I don't even do that anymore, bro. Honestly, I haven't even really drank in this last weekend with you was the most I drank in 2 months.
Well, shit, I didn't tell you to get the fucking big cup.
I'm not saying I'm knocking it or anything. I'm just saying like I just don't drink
Dude
anymore
got
like
the
that.
freaking giant ass, big, giant, huge freaking
And it was the best dollar per
Oktoberfest
beer ratio there.
Oktoberfest mug, talking about, oh, I drink the most with you. I didn't tell you to get that big ass mug.
All I'm saying is when I was hanging out this weekend is the most I drank in 2 months. And I did that because I knew I was going to be there spending money at the brewery, which that one new beer did not disappoint. It was worth going.
The
Dude got the mega buddy.
the mega buddy. Yeah, the fucking Kyle was drinking that.
Dude just hit 16 parlay, $10, got
Saw that.
6,000. Sheesh. Yeah, Corey's up in the casino. He knows all about that. He be seeing Corey be buying new cameras and shit with that money y'all be spending at the casino. They be paying his paycheck.
So I guess what do you think about the whole collectibles market, like Legos and Pokemon cards? Like, do you think that's something that will last in the future? Do you think it's something that's only like 5 to 10 year type thing, and then it's just kind of downhill and it's just gonna die, like how a lot of other old hobbies do? Do you think it's gonna thrive in the future? What do you think?
I think there'll always be a place for it. Whether I'm part of that, I don't know. Um, as a personal belief thing, it's just like this is another reason why I'm just trying to get out. You know, it's just not hitting on the same moral values and everything the same. Crypto too. Interesting. He mentions crypto because I was thinking about getting my dual citizenship in Mexico, and if that happens, I'll be able to buy crypto that's like illegal in America now. Like you can't own it as a U.S. citizen, but as a Mexican citizen, I'd be able to trade it all day.
There's only one crypto I would invest in, and that's Monero.
Yeah, I agree with Corey on that. You know, in our lifetime, or at least our generation, as long as people are around, they're gonna be into it. People have been doing stuff like this for as long as humans have existed. Nothing is
Yeah, but
new
do you
under the
think,
sun. Whether it was Pokemon and Legos, those didn't even exist 100 years ago. So like,
but as we grow older, say in our 50s, will we give a shit about this stuff?
I'm already at that point where I don't.
So probably not then. As people age, it might just nobody really cares anymore.
But
People
there
are just
will be people who
smaller and
do
smaller.
care. It's not gonna
But
disappear,
do you
like
think
Corey said.
more people would leave because they get older, or do you think like more people are gonna come in as younger
I
generations?
think I think the new generation is definitely going to be getting into it.
You think they're so as us older generations become older, let's say in 10, 15, whatever years, we're at 50 years old, we're kind of thinking about retiring and things like that. And do we really care about Pokemon anymore? Maybe not, probably not. um
Right. Probably
you
not.
know are
It'll still always hold
we gonna care
some
about it?
sort of heartstring because like we grew up. Yeah, see, Braxton's right too. The new generation already accepted it. They're
That is
probably know
true though.
more about that
You want to know what's
than us.
funny? So my girlfriend called me actually right before this live stream, and she was with her little cousin that's 4, maybe I think 4, and she wanted to call me because she wanted to tell me that she likes Pokemon, and I just kind of thought it was funny, and she was 4 years old little girl that likes Pokemon, and she's got a stuffed animal Pikachu,
It's
and
funny that Braxton said the next generation already accepted it. Like it was forced upon them or like there, and it's like, do you want this? Do you want to get into this? Because it's like, how does that even happen? You know, it's like deep down we presented it and they accepted it. It was almost like an offering or like it's like
yeah,
here
but
you
is
go,
that gonna
passing the torch.
transition to like being collectors? Because us as kids, like we didn't have like the internet as like kids do now, so like we had action figures and things like that, so like we actually had stuff in our hands and like we actually like played with stuff as kids, whereas like kids now, like
The attention
when they
spans are
even
small. They grew up on hitting a lottery machine all day. It's just
right, they don't
what do you
have
want to
action
watch?
figures and toys anymore. They don't have Pokemon
They
cards. I
got an
mean,
iPad that will let show them all of it on the
they
click
do
of a
have
button.
Pokemon cards, but like, do they care about it as much as we did? Because that was like the coolest things that we had back then. Now kids just have Fortnite and they're doing their little dances and things like that.
It's a good question. Will Fortnite potentially be a thing in the future where more people are collecting them because it's like, oh, bro, when we were kids, we were on Fortnite. Like,
The
you
Fortnite
never know.
cards,
What if those cards Justin has are like the next wave of that Pokemon generation where it's
you
like
never
they
know.
boom up in value by a lot. Braxton had action figures up in the bathtub with his rubber ducky.
Heck yeah, back in the day, boy. I remember I had like them Dragon Ball Z action figures and like things like that.
I
Good old
remember
good
collecting Legos when I was a kid, and that's another reason
GI
why I got
Joe,
into it too.
Bionicles. Yeah, that was my
Bionicles were
shit.
Legos.
Yep, Bionicles was
Hmm.
dope. That was probably one of my favorite things as like a kid was Bionicles. I would say it was
Did you know
definitely.
that Bionicles actually saved Lego? Lego was going down, and Bionicle actually saved Lego by the amount of sales and units they were selling on them.
Doesn't surprise me. Bionicles was huge.
Bionicles
They even
saved
made movies
Lego.
on it. Like that Bionicles was
And
huge.
Lego took that money that they made on that and they did that with multiple other avenues. They got Marvel. Well, they got Disney now, so they got Marvel, Star Wars, all the other Fox stuff. Lego has rights to them to make Lego
They
sets.
got Power Rangers though. Power Rangers
No.
was cold,
Actually,
dude.
they did have a Power Ranger set, I think. Maybe
They got Power Rangers cards.
no, it's actually not the Power
Get the
Rangers.
Green
It was a
Ranger,
version.
bro. Don't forget about the Green Ranger. Long live the Green Ranger. Dude's over
Them
here playing.
Connects roller coasters.
He's playing with Lincoln Logs. He's more of a Lincoln Log kind of guy.
I did like Lincoln Logs.
Lincoln Logs.
I never really had them to build with them, but I always did like them.
What about those? Back in the day, those racetracks where like the little car had like the little like I don't know, little prong, and it just went around and like always fell off the track because it goes too fast. You know what I'm talking about?
We definitely had those. Corey can attest to that.
Those were dope back in the day. Let's see.
Yeah, yeah. It's been an interesting change. I'd think like we were talking about, there's going to be so many people that it's just not going to go away. People are always going to be materialistic as we always have been, and it's not going nowhere.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
And we
I think
became a consumer culture. Like, we're not.
I just don't know if like the next generation that's below us like has that like I don't know.
I guess I see what you're saying. They grew up in the digital age. Like we birthed in the digital age. Like
Yeah,
we were on the
we got to live.
transition.
We were kids before, so we actually had
We were
a
before the
childhood.
.com boom. We did.
Yeah.
Like we have a life before 2000. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah,
Like
it's
we're
crazy.
gonna always say that our whole life. We're gonna be like, bro, we live before this shit now.
I'm always gonna look at anybody born after 2000 with like I'll never look at you the same.
They just don't. They can't even understand what life was like that back then. Because even me thinking back about it, it's like I have some version imagination in my head, but it's like not what it even really was. Because even when I got older, like I always had the internet.
Yeah.
Like once I was old enough to actually like do shit and like think about things in my own way, like we always had the internet.
We always had the internet. I don't remember. I mean, I remember like 5th grade, maybe kind of getting into the internet
That's because it became more accessible. People had it in their
RuneScape.
houses at all the time. I remember we didn't even have internet at the house. I went to the library to play RuneScape.
Yeah, I remember I had to you had to unplug the house phone to plug in the internet, and you couldn't
I'll never forget when we got the splitter that went to the internet and the phone. That changed everything.
next gen.
And then Wi-Fi came out.
If you had Roadrunner,
Kids don't even know the pain of having a cord connected. They'll be like, oh, I gotta charge my phone. I gotta sit over by the wall. Like, bruh, we had computers plugged into the wall all day.
That took like 20 minutes to charge up.
Man, they do not even know the struggle and what life was like.
Push
Nowadays,
that
that's why
in.
it's like so fast. It's gonna make things worse, I think. It is.
Now I flip over my laptop and it's already everything's just already up, and all I have to do is just freaking it's just the times definitely, it's kind of crazy to think of we actually lived through like the evolution of the whole iPhone. Like I remember you were the first person, you had the first iPhone, bro.
I had the second iPhone, the iPhone 3G.
I remember get this. I still actually, if I could probably find it and look for it, I have the first ever gen iPod Touch.
So if you think about this, I had the 3G phone that was just 3G now. You know how we upgraded to 4G and now we're on to 5G. In another few years, we're going to be up to 6G. All that really stands for is the next generation of wireless technology. Wireless technology has been around since the 80s, like when satellite phones were out and stuff, and it upgraded into, oh, you got a smaller cell phone now, it's in your car, you can do all this other stuff with it. And then it upgraded into the wireless phase, Wi-Fi around the 3G time, 2006, 7, 8, 9 is when it really started going wide. People had the iPod touches out now. People were having smartphones that could connect to the internet without needing those cords. Like that changed everything. And then when 4G came out, it was another Wi-Fi level up where everything became faster. And now we're on 5G where everything's instantaneous. And they say it's faster, but I see that it's not faster at all, actually. There's a lot of issues with 5G. That's my own personal experience saying, oh, I grew up in 3G, 4G, 5G had problems.
I mean,
I wonder what 3G will bring. I don't know.
3G, though, from 3G to 4G was a huge step.
From 2G to 3G was the biggest jump I've ever seen because I remember we went to Six Flags. In Green Bay, we didn't even have 3G at the time on that phone. So I had a 3G phone, but we were only using Edge. My internet was Edge on my phone, so it was a 2G network. And I was like, whatever, it's just normal. This is what browsing internet on the phone was. All of a sudden, we went to Six Flags. I got 3G down there on my phone. I was like, bro, I'm on the internet. This loaded in 3 seconds instead of 7? Like, what? This shit's game changing. And then we left Six Flags, and I was like, man, this is a bummer. It's not as fast anymore.
That's funny. I remember when we got LTE, so 4G, and
that was a game changer. It went from 3-second load times to 1-second load times.
That probably wasn't even that long ago, though.
4G only really came out 2015.
I was gonna say not even 10 years ago, because I remember when that came out, and like, if I remember it shouldn't have been that long ago.
No, it was probably 2015, 16, 17. 2017, it was in Green Bay. And then this last year in 2022 is when 5G went everywhere. Like during COVID, everything was still LTE. Now shit's 5G. Actually, LTE, probably 2020 is like they had the technology made, but it wasn't out to the public all the way yet. You know, people were just getting 5G phones.
September 6, 2012
was 4G.
Yeah.
But we did not have 4G then in Green Bay. So we're like behind even on that.
Actually, I think we did. I feel like I remember it in high school.
I didn't. I definitely did not.
It's because you were on the old. You must have been on the old phone. Yeah, bro. Actually, no. LTE. I remember LTE. I did because I remember I had an Android and it was LTE. I mean, I think I was in high school. Yeah, because I had the iPhone 5.
iPhone 5. I remember that 2013. I had that phone.
Yeah, and that was 5 or 4G.
Yeah, I guess that was only a year after that.
Yeah, see,
yeah 2013 for sure they had LTE. Now that you say that like that, especially that's ringing a bell. The iPhone 5 was around that time. And that's what I'm saying. These kids nowadays don't even know. If you gave them an iPhone 5, they'd be like, what is this?
I actually like the small phones. Like, I wish my phone was still small like that. Now it's just so big. Like, I don't know what happened to dude. He disconnected. But I wish I still had an old phone because I feel like my phone is so big. Like, the iPhone is just nice. Here, he's back. Let me bring him in here.
My bad. I accidentally clicked a button and disconnected.
You're good.
But I was going to say, when I bought this phone, it was used, and it's because the guy sold it. He had the Pro Max, the 12 Pro Max, bought the 13 Pro, and he's like, I like the big phone, so he sold me this one.
Yeah. Now the freaking
Justin, the link is up above on the chat. It should be in there.
Sprint. Here, I can repost it. If you want to hop up in here.
He hopped on right up on the LTE talk.
Yeah, but doesn't that like make your like nuts swell up and like you get like real deformed and stuff like that? Like
There's no real proof on any of it. There's data that says yes, it's negative for you, and there's data that says there's no effect at all. I guess it depends what research you're reading and what you truly believe, because honestly, we'll never know. But I do know this one. Corey said, "Speak for yourself." But one thing is for sure is that this is coming at such a technological like age shift. Like we're seeing so much change in happen in the daily life, and bro, all we're really doing is stepping away from what we were created for real fast. And I've been getting real spiritual lately, and I don't know if you guys want me to go in on this topic at all, but pretty
no.
much I've been like, yeah, it's not good. That's what I'm saying. It
I
just
try to
happened so fast, and it's literally it's accept we as humans, like Braxton said, accepted it, and it's this whole thing that takes over our whole life and controls our whole life. We revolve everything around it subconsciously. We don't even think about it on the day to day. We can have this discussion, talk about it, but it's still part of us. We are literally cyborg humans at this point.
yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think we are. I mean, we're all so attached to everything. Like, I mean, I know I am. Like, but
You're getting blasted by 5G rays even if you can disconnect. If you're in a city, you're getting hit by those wireless radiation.
yeah, I think it's just we don't know what it does to people.
Right, and that's why it's just like, well, what does it do? And there's no real data. The research that's out there is saying one way or the other.
I think one of the craziest things for me is that the amount of plastics that people ingest on a yearly basis and
Ooh,
what it does
you
to
just went on a whole level people do not want to talk about, people are unaware of, but there is people who are
so
aware of that and
super
are
unaware of
changing.
it. Everybody's so unaware of it. And one thing that I do not necessarily like that I've noticed is that restaurants and
Plastic,
a lot of places they literally from COVID.
plastics.
They've went away from glass and specifically serve people in plastic, and it just kind of bothers me.
Yeah, dude, the damage has been done. And honestly, the stuff that we're seeing happening to the world, going back to like everything I've been thinking about recently, is that everything that's happening to the world right now is all a byproduct of stuff like that, because we stepped away from like living in the on our bare minimums and what we need. We became so much into these own humans where we have our own ideas on what we should be, and now we have people fighting back and forth between I'm this, I'm that, no you're not, yes I am, yes you are, no you're not, you fight on that side, I'm over here, to where it just causes division, man. And people do not want that. I don't want that. We need to be coming together to address these problems, especially like you said about the ocean. That's just one problem out of many, and I can go down a whole list. But we saw this morning waking up on that text messages, that little baby mama drama is your entertainment. Yeah, dude, I'm telling
It
you,
was because I didn't even realize what was
there's
going
stuff
on
that we
until
do not see that affects your daily life in so many butterfly effect ways. You do one single thing, you bought plastic, you have no clue where that's going to be. You throw something in the garbage, does it even make it to the garbage? Does it end up in a landfill? Does it actually
yeah,
decompose?
I
If
feel
you're
like
throwing
that's
your
one thing.
garbage in a bag, that bag does not decompose, but the garbage inside does. Like, what? Yeah,
That's
we
one
just
thing
throw our
that
garbage away.
I think people like should it'd be it'd be something that would be really like beneficial to like a lot of things in society if everybody was aware of that process. Like if everybody knew exactly what the whole process was, because if I'm being honest, I don't even fucking know. So
There wasn't even a process for a lot of this. More than there's like a bunch of different types of plastics. Only two of them are actually recyclable. If you look at your plastic materials, they'll have a number on it, and it can
I
be
saw
they'll be let you know if it's recyclable or not.
that and heard that you can make disposable. It's not a plastic. It's a plastic like from hemp, but they don't want to do it because obviously plastic companies, you know,
You know who the plastic companies are?
well, all
Big
these big,
Oil. Big
yeah,
Oil ran the world. Big Oil is the one who's trying to push these digital dollars, bro. I've been looking at this stuff for over 10 years and it just blows my mind that people do not even see it. And honestly, it was what got me down into the conspiracy hole. And when you actually do the research and understand the truth on what is behind these hidden factors that are untalked about, you look at life differently, especially with your own actions. At least that's what I have. You know, you can't control these big oil companies yourself, but you can look at your own actions and see what you're doing. At the
yeah.
end of the day, you get judged for your own actions and not for somebody else's. So you need to take responsibility for your own life. If you know that these are a big issue, stop going to restaurants that do that. Stop buying products that come in plastic. Like,
I definitely try to avoid it. Like
to answer your question, Corey, yes, I do.
I try to avoid it just because it's like I know what it does. So like when I'm ingesting it, like it just makes me feel bad just because I know what it's doing.
So you physically feel the effects of plastic
No,
ingestion.
mentally.
Oh,
It's my
yeah.
mentally knowing that like it's fucking up my body and also like fucking up like my future generation because like I don't know, it's just kind of weird to think about. Like people don't understand what ingesting plastics do to you, which is kind of weird. It makes it makes your like it makes your like your taint and your testicles and it makes everything like smaller and closer together. So it's like a way that like could potentially be in the future whereas like it goes with our existence of genderless society and like
It's
if you continue to ingest plastics for you know 100 years like who knows what these effects are going to be on humans. I don't know. It could be crazy. Like there's literally studies and it's proven that ingesting these plastics are shrinking males' taints, and it means your balls are coming closer to your ass, and it means like you're becoming more of a feminine like. And like that's just going to keep going from generation to generation as people ingest more and more plastics, which is kind of weird to think about.
what you mean. Uh, honestly,
That's
there's
pretty
just
much close to
we
it.
just have. It's just there's hidden things that are affecting everybody's daily life on the earth. Like it's not just us; it's the whole next generation. They want this, and it's secretive, and it's behind the radar. We're not fighting things of even human nature, dude. Where this is a whole nother level that is unseen.
It's true. We just don't like. We don't even realize it. Just the little things that like are killing you and like destroying like
It's not just us,
society as
it's
a
the
whole.
whole
Oh
generation,
yeah,
yes.
I know. Yeah, it's just
And
like the
dude, it
little
is
thing.
crazy. And that's why we need to wake up to this fact because bro, like I said, I've been getting trying to get more understanding on that and the understanding I got is that it's just it's negative in a big way and we have the ability to step away from it, but it comes down to your own personal actions because at the end of the day it is going to destroy human civilization. It's
So
already it's already
at
planned
a
and written.
Pokemon like regional tournament, like maybe a couple weeks ago, there was somebody that was on like the live stream that was getting broadcasted. I don't know, he was like maybe 5-0 or something. So like whenever like players are like 5-0 and they're like going against each other, they want them like on the live stream. But they were asking this player that's 17 years old, what are your pronouns? So they can put it on the freaking thing or whatever. And apparently like the kid said he was asked like multiple times and he said uh he whatever he said. I don't know. I don't even know what the hell he said. But then like he got asked again, like as he was like going on stage, and he kind of like laughed at it or something. He was like laughing about it or something, and apparently the judge was like, "I feel threatened or something by this person," and they kicked him out of the tournament and
Bro,
made.
that shit's demonic. Seriously, it's all against what humans were made for, what they are all about. This shit is just completely ridiculous. It's
They kicked him out of the tournament, and he was 5-0. Like he was like a top player at that time, and he was. They kicked him out because he was laughing at these.
because he was winning. They didn't want to your man shining. They didn't want to see him winning on the up and up.
I guess there's something. They're just like
Somebody was hating. They had a hater. They had an
they
agent. That's what it
must have
was.
been.
I'd be calling people like that agents because they're part of the system. They be working it on behind the scenes of shadows, and they don't even know they're doing it, man. They think that they're right and almighty and they're on the right path, but bro, that's not even them doing it. That shit is hidden in the shadows. That's the shadow realm people taking over his body and doing it for him because these are
Yeah, I heard about
spirits.
that story, and I'm just like, wow.
Dude, it's crazy because that wasn't even a thing in our lifetime. Like, you didn't hear people going out saying that stuff. You didn't hear people going out and doing that. And honestly, like, the gay rights thing and how that's even changed, like, that's only been like those laws only changed in the last 20 years. Like, there's 3 major law changes in the last 20 years that has really spurred those movements and helped progress them further. People say, oh, we need more rights and progression, but like, bro, they're only taking away rights by doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against gay marriage at all, but I am against like when you're like forcing like
Like
children
that
and
pronoun thing. And then if you don't agree with it, you're going to get kicked out of this tournament. Bro,
right.
that's the
I
same
I
thing that
think you should
dollars are going to
have your
become.
own opinions. Like I think gay people should be able to get married, but I'm not gonna like say you're wrong if you think they shouldn't. Like people should be able to think whatever they want, and like they should be able to not be canceled for their opinions. Because your opinion, say like for instance, whatever your opinion is that gay people shouldn't get married. My opinion is gay people should get married. Like they're both opinions. There's not a right or wrong answer. I mean, I don't know. Is there a right or wrong answer? I don't know. To
Depends
some,
who you ask.
yeah, exactly. Some people are so against it, and some people are so for it. Like, I
But
mean, I
people
don't.
just became so entitled to the point where it's like, my way is the right way. And like, if you're not for us, you're against us, bro. And like I said, people don't even know what they're doing nowadays. And I've seen it in my own self. And um, I don't know, man. It goes deeper than people realize.
I thought Justin was gonna hop on here. Is he scared?
This conversation got too real for him.
He said, "Well, there is. Well, we know what side you're on, bro. You voted for Nancy Pelosi."
Sheesh. Dude probably voted for Gingrich.
Yeah,
Dude,
the
yeah, Braxton, the
fluoride.
fluoride was one of those things that made me wake up to the realization like
Yeah,
people
that,
are literally being poisoned without their consent. If people really knew what that was and what it did to them, like it would have you thinking differently. Dude, at my new job today, we had Alan Dershowitz on our live show today. We recorded a section with them. For those of you who don't know, Alan Dershowitz was Trump's lawyer in his case, but he's a super Democrat guy too. And he's just like, dude,
yeah, but
what they're
Trump's going to
doing.
jail.
Yeah, but what he's saying is that he is going to get charged with it, but all it really is like nothing. It's like the whole case is revolved around like, okay, he paid hush money
Yeah, it's
to
just to show that
somebody.
he's a bad person, so he doesn't get
Right.
elected.
They're
That's
trying to
all it is.
defame his character.
Of
Exactly what's
course.
going on. It's because these hidden factors that are pushing agendas on people without the realization. I'm not saying Trump was the answer either, but At least he was fighting for the freedoms that you have to be able to say that.
I mean, if I'm yeah, so if I'm gonna clarify what JB's talking about here, I mean, what is marriage? Because to some, a marriage is between a man and a woman. So how is a man and a man or a woman and a woman supposed to get married if it's between a man and a woman? So, you know, like I said, I don't know if there is a right or a wrong answer. For me, I just don't care. So I'm not gonna be like you can't do it or I'm not gonna fight
Yeah,
for
you
you.
shouldn't be the person to judge and cast a stone. But we all know what's deep down what's right. Like, are you gonna be gay?
I mean, no, I prefer
Okay,
women
why not? Like,
because I
because you
like.
know that that's not right, bro.
It's not that I. No, it's not that. No, I disagree with that. It's not that I
So
know
would you
it's
try
not
it? Would
right.
you be gay? Would you try
I mean, if I was gay, then sure, yes.
it? But you're not.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like, what even causes somebody to like say, "Oh, I'm gonna try that"? Usually, it's deep down trauma or
yeah, but
something,
I
bro.
don't. I don't think it's something you just try, bro. It's not like that. It's
So
not
what?
like
How?
I don't know, but I mean, these conversations have gone off the rail. But I'm not. I'm not hating on it. I enjoy conversations like this.
I mean, it's just a discussion. You can't hate. You can try to cancel us, shut us down,
No, I'm not.
whatever.
I'm not. I'm not like trying to change the subject. I'll talk about anything on here. I could care less.
Right. And that's one thing that's nice is we have the freedom and the ability to even have these conversations. And going back on this is that these hidden factors are really trying to shut down your ability to even have that conversation.
Right. And I think that's the real scary thing is
That is
not
the scariest
not
thing no matter
being able
what.
to have
No
these
matter what side you're on, if you don't see that you're having the ability to shut somebody else's freedom of speech down, this is going to cause a whole wave of issues that are unimaginable and is going to suppress people on
yeah,
so many levels. It's
yeah,
not about being right and wrong or gay and straight. It's deeper than that. And that's all I've been saying for the last half hour is shit is deeper than people realize.
yeah, that's the thing. It's all the little things add up. They they come and just keep adding up. Like drinking out of plastics, seeing all this, school shootings, you know, they all the things that you see on a daily basis. It's just kind of like in your mind, and I don't know.
Right. And like, I don't know, the latest school shooting thing that happened, it was a lesbian person or a trans person who went to a Catholic school and shot up children, bro. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well,
Shit is just
apparently
not
she
right.
went to that school as a kid or something. I don't know.
I don't
But
know. What makes people think that? It's not them.
I don't know.
You're not
Apparently,
you
that
when you're
person
hungry.
definitely had mental. I mean, the thing is, do these people have mental problems or is it like? But I saw something like that person was like, I want people to see me for who I am. Like she was, in a way, like I don't know. She's like, am I a man or am I a girl? I want people to see me for who I am or whatever. So it's like she was in a way doing it to like get people to like I don't know have transgender like
And she
promotion.
sacrificed
Like she
children in the process.
trying to promote like transgender like uh I don't know. I don't
And
know
she
how to.
sacrificed children in the process.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of what I got out of it. Like she was trying to like promote like transgender awareness in a way. Like
There's a lot
against
of drag things that I've been seeing that have been also subjugating children. I think it really comes down to the children, man. They're trying to like corrupt them. And
probably.
if it's like more acceptable and open and kids are seeing it when they're young, like
Well,
it's
if you
good. Who
see
knows
it when
what
you're
else?
young, you accept it more as an adult.
Like Braxton said, with the other technology, they already in the toys, they already accepted it. Like it's just there. If there's under social peer pressure with their whole young life, it's gonna. I don't know. It makes an influence on them. Why does it matter to you if they think like that? It should just matter to that person. So this is where it goes down to like the right and wrong thing. If you think one thing is right and somebody else thinks it's wrong, what's right and what's wrong? Because killing kids is not right.
Well, obviously.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. That's what it boils down to at the end of the day. It's like,
I mean,
who's right and who's
that's
wrong.
wrong. There is no right for that. Like, but like for like something like gay marriage, that's what we were talking about before. Like, there is a right, and there. I mean, there's like there is no right and there is no wrong. Whereas like killing kids, like there's no right. It's wrong. You know.
Right, but that's what these things come down to is all
No,
I'm
I know
saying.
you said that long ago. That was, I mean, Kyle
Yeah,
was
I just read that on the chat. I didn't see that earlier. My bad. Didn't mean to just switch it up.
but like there's like gray areas with a lot of things, and then like if you have like a non-popular opinion, like you're wrong, where it's like why are you wrong?
Yeah, this is those things that cause divisions. It's like,
But it's like why are you right then? Like I understand why gay people should have the right to get married, but like what is marriage? Like it
if
need
you look at marriage, it was a sacred sacrament that was like people
it's
would
a
like
religious
spend.
thing though, right?
Yeah, it really started as a religious thing.
And
And
most of not all religions are against uh, same-sex and marriage and gay people as a whole. Some religions even went as far as killing gay people.
yeah, and that's the thing, Justin, is that they took this thing and they made it legal. It was like a different thing back in the day, but now actually it really was kind of the same, but now it's like legal on paper. You have to go through so many hoops and sign documents because it's a legality at this point. You can view marriage in a lot of ways, but at the end of the day, nowadays it's legal.
But yeah, I mean, I think nowadays it's looked at more as just like something like in a way you can benefit off of, like you're saying, like you,
It's like people who have kids to get tax money.
yeah.
That's a really weird example and like kind of out there, but
It's
like,
kind of true though, but
yeah, if you're trying to just be together with somebody for the tax advantages, like that's exactly the same thing.
why do you think a lot of people in the military get married so quick? Like
Yeah,
they
my
get
sister is
benefits,
one of
but
them. She's going to be getting married and her fiance's in the Navy.
yeah,
And
and you
they
get
live out in California right now in San
like
Diego.
they want like those people to get married, like which is kind of weird.
I don't know. Here's what I've kind of just come to think about. It's like if you're ready for that, you're going to make the move. And if you don't want that and you're not ready, you're not going to do it. Whether it's a man, a man marrying a man, like whatever, it's your choice and opinion. I'm not trying to judge nobody for that either.
Kyle's judging. Well, let him go judge somewhere else. Take his judging ass on. He can go. He can go lick some boots somewhere else. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, I accidentally clicked on the back button again. No, but it's not my position to judge. But honestly, my opinion, there is somebody who will be the judge, and it ain't me.
It ain't me. But you can have opinions.
Yeah, because it's my God-given right as an
Yeah, you're
American. Dang
allowed
it,
to.
because I have the
That's the
freedom to do
thing.
that.
Like
You can't take away that freedom of my speech and thought to even
everybody
have
has
that.
opinions, and they
But
should be
there
allowed
are
to have
factors
them
that are trying to legally take
and
away
express
my
them.
right to be able to even say that.
You should always be able to express your opinions as long as it's not threatening to somebody, or you're not like
But let's go back to that Pokemon tournament conversation then, because that guy just laughed at something because he got asked the same question multiple times from your conversation.
right.
But somebody felt offended So they kicked him out of a tournament. Like, what does that even mean? If you feel offended about every single little thing in conversation, that's where they demonize your freedom to even say something in a way.
Yeah. Because he could have been like, who cares what I am? Like, I'm nobody. Or he could have been like, I'm a fucking.
Apparently, you could say I'm a unicorn now and people will accept it. Like, for real. So, but because he didn't want to even say that, he got banished
Right.
for
Like,
that.
why are they even asking people these questions? Like, that's what I want to know. When did society change that it becomes normal to ask people these questions? Because it's not normal to me. It's not normal to ask, oh, yeah, what gender are you, Kyle?
I
What do
have
you
an
go
idea
by?
on it, but I don't know if you
Like,
want me to go into that, like I said, because some of this stuff has been gotten brought up multiple times, and I feel like people think one way or about it, but I've seen it happen and I've been looking at it deeper, and I think it's one way or another. But it comes because people really have given up the religious aspect of that. Like
I
it
mean,
almost had
religion
like some
is probably at the
structure.
lowest point of all time in
Right,
history of the United
exactly.
States.
And so people have given up these things like God, and they've given up to themselves to material possessions and all these other things that, bro, in the Bible, they talk about this stuff happening thousands of years ago. And these people disrejected God. He left them. He's like, they don't want to be part of me. I'm going to leave them and destroy them. And that's what happened. And we're seeing the same thing unfold right now in our very eyes. Literally, people in these industries that are in control and stuff are worshiping these uh Middle Eastern gods, bro, and they don't even know it. Like Easter, people are about to be celebrating Easter. Put a 1 in the chat if you're going to be celebrating with Easter. Are you doing anything on Easter?
Of course.
Yeah, exactly. You become this whole thing in culture where we're honestly praising these other gods, bro. And this is where these spirits now have come in and are becoming the new normal. But that's my thought. That's what I believe.
I guess, like, what is the new normal? Is that like what we're doing right now?
Live streaming. Yeah, that is the new
Oh,
normal.
I mean, like, what we're doing as like a society is like really focusing on like gender equality and like I don't know, like gender like neutral like things and like are we really trying to get rid of genders? Like do we not want these little kids like little 5-year-olds like, "Oh, I'm a little girl." But really you're a little boy. Like do we really want that? Like I don't think we do.
Well, I think it's important to look at what's out there and what this has done to people already. Like, okay, people have been transitioning now for 10 years, like
Yeah, but like when
openly.
we were kids, we would have got made fun of. We would have been called names. We would have been
You would have been called gay and everybody would have laughed at you.
right. You would have been called other words than just that. And like, was that like a deterrent for people? Whereas like now it's like schools are like, you know, they'll have a ceremony for you for coming out and like they'll like clap for you and do all these things for you. Like now you're like you're
They
the
took
top
the
of the
God out of the school. The same school that was used to pray with kids in the school is now doing that in school. And another thing, they used to say, "I pledge allegiance to the flag
they
under
probably don't
God
even do
for
that.
the republic," which republics have been able to thrive, but everybody wants a democracy. If you look at history, there's never been a democracy in all of history that has ever thrived after a few hundred years.
I don't even think they do the Pledge of Allegiance anymore. Do you know?
That's what I'm saying. They've taken out these things in our culture that have given it some structure and stuff, and now they're putting in new things.
Yeah, I think That was during like COVID, where like a lot of you could see
You're right,
videos of
Corey.
like parents on like the school board, like
And COVID was the first switch, bro, that flipped it on the next level.
yeah, it ramped things up big time.
Real talk. That's okay. What side are you doing now? Basically, you're
And
either on this side or
with
that
the
side.
election too, it was the COVID and the election all in the same year, and
And
that
it
just
wasn't just that; it was a lot of other things.
the election though was huge because it was like a lot of one side versus the other, and it was like a lot of hate and a lot of like it was just a lot of hate. Both sides just hated. Like you were Trump, you were hated. You were liberal, you were hated. Like there was no like I don't know, and like a lot of the times I feel
No,
like
I see what you're saying, Corey.
it was kind of like the most I feel like divided we've been since I could remember.
Right. And so, like Corey's even saying, people want to be accepted, but all it's really doing is creating more division between people. Like, even if you look at the people who come out, I read this book description. I was thinking about buying this book, and this person was saying how, oh, they were all for these like gay pride things and like celebrating and out in the streets marching on all this stuff. And then after COVID happened, they're like asking questions on what is up with all this medical stuff. They're trying to force these vaccines on us and stuff. And that same community who she was out in the streets marching with and everything started demonizing her because she stopped agreeing with what they were saying.
I just want to say one thing is that being accepted is completely different than being praised. I 100% agree with being accepted, and like you should be accepted whether you're gay, trans, or whatever in
I
school.
agree with that.
But I don't think you should be praised by your peers or your teachers or your education board or your social media because you came out and oh this high schooler, oh you're so strong, you're so this, you're so that. I don't think you should be promoted. Like that's how I view it. Like yes, you should be accepted but not promoted. That's how I feel.
Well, look at even sports nowadays, how when we were younger, everybody was getting trophies for just being praised for playing. Like it started a long time ago
It
and it
did
just
start in a
slowly is
way,
progressing.
but uh yeah, I guess participation trophies were a thing when we were kids.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like slowly been progressing. Every year something new gets added on and
That is
anything will
true
be
though.
we're going to
Participation
get to a point
trophies.
where you're going to accept everything or you're not going to be part of it.
I remember that was like actually kind of a big thing of is participation trophies ruining like competitive sports or ruining childhood like things like that and like now look at it now we're um we're trophies, everybody gets their trophies, but we're like times 10 now. We're like everybody gets like you know way more than a trophy. You guys get it's just amplified now.
You're either with us or against us.
Yeah, but I feel like we've been having some pretty good conversation this last hour ish.
Yeah, we had a good hour of like the live market talk, and then the last hour after that, it kind of shifted.
Definitely shifted, which isn't terrible. I don't care about a nice shift. I don't, it's not necessarily specifically Pokemon. I don't have enough to talk about just strictly Pokemon.
Well, it was a market talk. We talked about more than just Pokemon. We talked about markets as a whole. That's why I was
Definitely.
like, I like your title because we were talking market. Are the markets winning? Are the markets losing? Some markets are winning right now, some markets are losing. We talked about future potentials on markets winning and markets losing. And then we talked about, do we even care?
Do we? Yes and no. Like,
It goes back to that other discussion. Do we really even care about that other discussions too?
it's just like poof, gone. You know, there's things that I do hold value in that I am like, of course, I want my cards to hold value, and like it probably would be smart. Like if I could just push a button right now and turn all my cards into money, it would probably be really smart to do it. But
That's where I'm feeling. I'm
I
trying to
just
do that.
I don't want to. I don't know why I don't want to. I don't know if it's because I'm lazy to do it or if it's just because
Or is it a material attachment as
it
well, you know?
is. I actually want these cards in 5 years because if I get rid of them, I know I'm never going to buy them back. I just know I won't, and I just
Mhm.
what even if they are half the price that they are in 5 to 10 years, and nobody really wants them, and they're not really valuable anymore, I still probably wouldn't buy them back just because I know in the future in my life, Pokemon cards is not going to be on my like list of things that I'm going to be buying because I'm
Like
going
I
to have.
said, that's one reason why I shifted to Legos too. I feel like it's a more sustainable investment over the long term.
Yeah, I mean the stuff I'm buying is stuff that I want, so it's like whether it goes to zero as like some people like to say is like a cliche, where it's like I don't care if my cards go to zero, whereas like obviously you do, but if you don't plan on selling them, like who cares necessarily what they're worth other than the amount of money you paid for them. That's kind of why I look at it like poof, the money's just gone because you know, sure it probably won't be zero, but it could be like, half the price I paid for it, if not even half of that. It's just I don't know.
That's
It's,
why we need to be content with what we have.
exactly. And that's kind of I should probably reevaluate some of the things that I'm doing and probably start selling some cards to like put more money into other cards. So I mean I've been selling a little bit of cards, more of like the singles, not very expensive cards, but I have a few on eBay. Maybe I should lower the price, but
I think I'm gonna post mine on eBay. My PSA 9 cards, at least.
I just let them sit. I don't care if they sell or not. Just because, like I said, I like them. So a lot of the stuff I don't have posted. The stuff that I do have posted is stuff that I don't necessarily even like, and I bought it strictly to try to resell it.
Hmm.
So and it's
So
still
dude got his flipper license now finally.
yeah, trying. I mean, I'm not actively trying to sell, so it's just I'm just enjoying. Like I feel
So
like
he's acquiring.
if I'm selling, like it's more stress, and I feel like I won't enjoy it. It's like I'm enjoying buying and holding.
Yeah, Corey's got a point too. You know, we're at an age where like we're more stable. We've saved up money. We've been able to do specific things now. We've been working for. I've
Yeah,
been working over 10 years now. Like over 12 years, I've been working. Almost more than half my life, I've been working now. Actually, yeah, more than half my life, I've been working. So like I've been able to get and treat myself to many different things. And
yeah, definitely. So it's just like, what do you enjoy? I mean, as this moment in my life, that's what I enjoy.
I wish like Justin was still here too, you know, like if that's what really makes you happy, you do you. I'm not going to sit here and judge anybody for what they're doing at the end of the day, cuz at the end of the day I'm focusing on what I'm doing. Like I ain't even got time to be worrying about none of that other stuff. I'll try to say my perspective on things and maybe give advice when I can if people want it. But otherwise, I don't care either, you know.
Right. I feel like
I mean, I do care to the
it's
point where
like
I'd even offer those suggestions, but
it's like a point where it's like you can make your opinions, but like, are you like being like how are you expressing those opinions? Are you being like an asshole about it, or are you like just stating your opinions, like
right. And I feel like more
like if
sensible people are willing to have conversations, but then there's people also who are just like, fuck you,
automatically would
like,
shut you down.
flipping
if
you off
if
and
you
doing
said
all sorts of
you
other
don't
stuff.
think gay people should get married, automatically you'd be completely just shut down. But also too though, if you said I think gay people should get married, you would also be shut down by some people. So it's like there's no in between. Like people need to be able to talk about the middle ground. Like there should be like you shouldn't be so strong against something or for something that you're not able to see the other side. And I think that's what a lot of people are. Like they're
Isn't
not.
that what they call being liberal, like being open to
Yeah, but
like
they're
your
not.
mind being open? Right, exactly. And like that's the whole idea behind it.
That
Like
that's
that's
100%
the
true.
definition of
I
it.
thought I was when like years ago. I thought I was liberal mindset because I picture myself as somebody who can see both sides and is open minded. But like definitely not. I'm more of the conservative, but also still open minded and can see both sides. It's just like I I can't get down with that whole of everything on both sides. So it's like I got to be somewhat in the middle because both sides are just crazy. One's a little more crazy than the other, but
He won't be going into details.
well, I mean, we all know what the crazy side is.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough and it's hard to even have the conversation because everybody all has their own predispositions out there. And I don't know. It's just, I think having the discussions needs to be had. And it's just how do we really go about having a discussion to the point where people aren't getting bashed on one side or the other. But people have been divided forever.
I think once you start bashing the other side is when the conversation just ends and you don't get anything out of it.
And I wasn't bashing nobody on our conversation.
No, 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 not you. I'm just
I know,
saying.
I'm just saying too, like,
Oh
it's
yeah,
like I'm always open to have a conversation. I'm never trying to bash nobody. I'm
I'm
just
just
trying to have an open conversation.
yeah. I'm saying like when you have like Trump, for instance, just like throwing negative jabs at like people, like that's when like people tune you out because you're just like I don't know.
What's interesting is that's also what helped him rise in
It is
popularity
true.
on the political spectrum. Like he was so out there that people were like, "Whoa, this is
People liked it
different."
that he was
Yeah,
out there.
this is not politics that
But
we
then
know.
it got worse. I remember when he tried to debate Biden and he just wouldn't even or I think it was Biden, he just wouldn't even let him talk. And it's just like you're too ignorant and too like egotistical to even and that's just one thing that was concerning and like, you know,
That I think is what made him lose his this last election. Cuz how many presidents actually get 2 terms?
I feel like a lot, don't they?
And most of them do. There's
Yeah.
a few that haven't, but it's like stuff like that when you just go too far on it and
Yeah,
like you play the image
I
and
feel like
role
when
to the
you
point
become
where
too arrogant, like it was cool when you were trying to get it, but then once you have it, like you can tone it down a little bit.
mhm.
That's just, but I don't know. If it's him versus Biden again, I mean, clearly I'm voting for him, but I'm hoping that it's two totally new people. One thing that I like about elections is when there's two totally new people. That's way better than just having, you know,
One thing that I heard is that Robert Kennedy, he's about to be running in a Democratic position, and it's like I stand with what he's been doing, but he's like running in a
yeah, but he's
Democrat
more
position. His whole
Republican
family,
than Democrat.
but he's also running on the Republican spectrum, and so did his family members for since uh, JFK.
Hmm. Uh, Ron Paul needs to run for president.
Yeah, but he'll never get elected.
I know, but he should have. He ran like what back in like 2008 or something.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting when you actually watch the political side of things because all it really is at the end of the day is the legal battle and struggle. That's funny that Justin brought that up too about the marriage thing. Is that at the end of the day, all politics really comes down to is legalities. The whole government of the United States was created to limit government. And now it got so pinned down to like two parties pretty much, or like you're two options. It's like a device that's used by people in power to control the options and outcome. Is like, you want this or that, we're going to give you the lesser of the two evils. Either way, you're stuck in between the bullhorns. I read that on the 48 Laws of Power. Literally, it's one of the 48 Laws of Power is like, give your enemy two options. That way they'll go to the lesser of the two evils.
Yeah, because if you only have two options, you're gonna go to the lesser of the two, obviously. Clearly.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just a power thing, really. This stuff is deeper than we'll ever realize.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that things could change. It's just that
things are going to change.
I think
things
more
constantly change every day.
Of the younger generation needs to be involved in politics. Like, we shouldn't have these old, decrepit people in power. Like, it should
There
be.
was a kid, one person running for the school board position.
Yeah,
He
Rachel
was a 19-year-old from West High School.
Yeah, Rachel voted for him.
Yeah, that was funny. I saw
But
that.
he actually had credentials, though. He
had more credentials than Paul Boschert, the guy who runs for every position, who's unemployed, who's a social researcher.
That walks or runs for rides around in his moped with his
dude. He lives on the east side by me. I see him walking every day.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Why does he run for all those positions?
Because he's trying to probably get a paycheck. He doesn't
actually get votes?
No, I think he's just trying to do something with his life.
He's like, I'll become a politician. I don't know.
At least he's doing something though. Like, he's out there more than most other people. Like you said, we need more people out there. And honestly, I heard that from some people who are really big in the political space too, is that we need people who are out there because
we do
more diversity. More diversity, one, limits terms because people aren't continuously being in the same spot to run for power.
That is true, though. The less people out there, the more like easy,
the more mold people can be, and also more influential sphere. Like, who are you hang out with? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I don't want to do it though, so you have to do it. Do it then, bro. Why didn't you run for mayor?
I don't know. It's not like a priority of mine right now. It's not like, oh, I'm going to go run for mayor.
Bro, you could have made a new Facebook like Kotenberg and been like running for mayor, bro. You could have got some votes. You probably would have got more votes than that one dude that rides on his moped.
Probably.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what those numbers actually look like. You know what was weird is when I voted too, the guy at the checkout, he's like, I need to see your ballot. So I was like, okay. And I gave it to him and he looked at it and then he's like, there's not a 232 on here. I was like, yeah, I know. And then he's like, oh.
A 232?
He literally just looked at my ballot before.
What does that mean?
Because that was like my number they gave me for voting. On some AJ shit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, who cares if he looked at your ballot?
I didn't. That's why I gave it to him. I thought it was just funny.
I would walk around there showing people my ballot. Like,
right. That's why I literally did not care. I was like, yeah, here you go.
Did you have weird like questions on your thing?
Dude, you're talking about the referendum vote on changing the constitutional law. Okay.
About bail?
This is about mail, no.
No, about bail. About if like a violent offender or like
that was yes, I did have that referendum. Dude, that
what'd you vote on that?
So they made it hard to read for
Yeah, I
one.
know they did. It was fucking
Yeah,
difficult, like, to understand.
dude, and
They
that's
do
what I'm
that. They
saying.
do that on purpose all the time, dude, and it
They
makes me
do.
angry because they get people and they're like, "What does this even mean?" And then they would do yes or no because they don't really understand and they're like voting wrong, you know?
I do know exactly what you're talking about,
Because
and
I thought it was a yes vote, but it was a no vote.
that's what I said. I
That was a
voted no.
that was a 100% a no vote. We do not want people that are like a flight risk, a violent sexual person, or we do not want them people allowed bail.
And that's just like one of those things where it comes down to changing these rules, and they're trying to that question was actually in regard to a Wisconsin constitutional law.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
they're trying to change Wisconsin constitution laws.
Yeah, and I don't know how that planned out. I'm curious actually now on that because there was another one too, and it was like somewhat similar, and I don't remember exactly what it was. I think I took a picture of it actually. Oh, should oh yeah, this one also was big. Amendment allow a court to impose an accused person being released before conviction conditions that are designed to protect the community from serious harm. So they could potentially give somebody rules and regulations that wasn't convicted of a crime yet. I
Right,
put no.
exactly. And
I put no.
that's where it comes down to, they're changing your constitutional right, which
They're
is
trying to
in.
take your rights away right there.
Yeah, exactly. And
Because
you
just
have
proven
the
innocent
freedom.
till guilty. And if you're getting court restrictions before you're even proven guilty, like that's not right.
Exactly. And that's a state constitutional law. If that changes, dude, that opens so many can of worms. Like, it's actually crazy what that could
Yeah,
mean.
because you could just get arrested and then like well, sorry, we got conditions that we might have to keep you in here longer, or we're gonna put you on house arrest because we have conditions for you, or you have to be, whatever. You have to come meet every week or something, or you have to pass this drug test every week.
Dude, those laws are what is destroying the American fabric. That type of stuff right there.
Yeah, because you
Because
get
that's
caught up.
just more government control over a situation. This is not what the founding fathers had in mind when they wrote the Bill of Rights.
And then there is another one. Shall able-bodied childless adults be required to look for work in order to receive taxpayer funds for welfare benefits? And I was like, of course, that's a yes for sure.
Right. It's like, okay, you just want to not get, you want to get government money for not working.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's
dude. And
funny
these are those things like
they
these
worded
conversations.
that question so like elementary to understand, and then the two that actually are really matter, they word it so like you don't really know which one to pick because it's worded so weird. It's like what does it mean where it says constitution be amended to be allowed? Like what does that mean?
Exactly. They're trying to amend the Constitution. I'm going to tell you right now that ever since I've been starting my new job, mending the Constitution is the number one thing that will change everything. And it's the one thing they have been trying to push since like the 80s is constitutional amendments.
Yeah, I mean, we don't obviously want it to change.
We don't
It's
need more
good.
rules. We need less rules.
Exactly. Exactly. I don't know. I think people agree with that. I hope they do.
Yeah.
Some people don't, though. That's kind of the scary.
Right. And so, like, how did it become a thing going back to our other conversation earlier? It's like, didn't gay people always have the right to do that or not? Or now they do? Because the reason I think it came down to like the people in the church were like, um, we're not going to verify this legal marriage because they go against their beliefs. But like the state would do it. And that's where I think that issue came about even in the first place. Because, like, I just assumed that it was possible, but I guess not.
Well, I think states have a right to choose. Like it's like the same with abortion. Like the states have the right, I'm pretty sure, to choose or whatever. So if like the state doesn't want you to have gay marriage, then you're not going to have it. Where some states, I mean, California, I'm pretty sure was the first, and
That
they
was that whole thing with Roe v. Wade, too. It's like the federal government was basically like, we're not going to touch this because we don't even have the right to say, it's not us to respond. It's the people in the state's job to make that decision. It's not on us. That's all the Roe v. Wade thing was about.
yeah,
Because
and then
they
it
knew, the
becomes a
Supreme Court
problem.
knew, they knew that it was not their right to make that decision.
Yeah,
And
but
this is
then
where they want to change the Constitution so they can change laws like that.
yeah, I don't know where I stand between that. I mean, I think abortion should be legal, but like it being federally legal, I don't know. Like you said, that's kind of like a weird, touchy subject. Like, I think I don't know.
I know, but people were acting like it was banning it, but all it really did was saying the states
The states
decide.
have the
People didn't even know that goes back to another thing. People are fighting for stuff they don't even know anything about. They just hear that and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna protest that." Like, do you even know what you're
well, it's
protesting or
because
what
it
you're even
was
doing?
it was federally it was federally legal though, right, or something like that, and then it got overturned, so it's now the states. So it was like it was legal in every state or something like that. Now it's where it's like the states are able to ban it, where they weren't able to ban it or something. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Right, but that's the thing. It was never the federal government's job to make that in the first place. That's where it comes like the government's not, it doesn't need more control, it needs less control. And the states are individual enough to where the federal government doesn't have the power to actually influence your daily life. It's really the state and local that those things happen. That's why I'm always saying you need to be part of your local network because that's where it really matters.
Yeah, I don't know. I just then you're gonna like get like people that like travel for abortions to states that are legal. So it's just I don't know. It's
Well,
just
that's already happening behind the shadow realm type stuff.
yeah. Colorado doesn't have they have legal, and Denver's a big place for it.
Yeah, I was thinking there's these people who are trying to make like that constitutional changes and stuff, but to do that they have to get like these representatives to basically sign off on it in their local areas. So these representatives have been getting like emails and phone calls and stuff saying, "Hey, we're part of your district. We want you to vote on this." But then they find out that it's not even these people saying that. Like people take their names and addresses and phone numbers and they call these people and are like, "We're part of your district," when really they're not. It's just like one of those things that happens behind closed doors that people don't even know about.
Yeah, I mean now that the Wisconsin Supreme Court has changed the new like
Yeah, and that's a big change in itself there too. Think about that. We just had an election that one changed Wisconsin laws on whether people have rights or not when it comes to being in jail. And then also we have a new Supreme Court justice on the seat to make them changes actually happen now.
yeah,
And
and
those are both voted on at the same time.
the
That's
district
actually big.
realignments too that's coming up in the near future. The new district realignments that's going to be huge with Democrats in power of the court. I'm pretty sure that's where it gets like decided. So
Yeah,
like,
dude.
and
It's actually big.
they've been trying to redo the like the whole gerrymandering whatnot, and like I don't know, I don't really know too much about it of like if it's a good or a bad thing. I just remember during COVID that the whole Green Bay had two places to vote. Two places, east side, west side, out of the whole Green Bay. That was just insane. They have two places to vote. Like no wonder why nobody freaking voted. No wonder why there were so many mail-in votes or whatever. There's literally nowhere to vote. Like,
Hmm.
is that was just crazy to me. Like, I don't know if that's like that right there is what I consider gerrymandering, and I don't know if this realignment is the answer to like doing that, or if that was just a one-time thing.
Yeah, I don't even know, man. It's just so crazy that how it really is just how life is becoming like that to me, like that's where it's like so much stuff is changing so fast and it's like uh that's where I get worried on stuff because it's like I don't even care about these other issues that people are arguing about. I care about this other stuff that is actually going to bring in these other changes that I don't want to see happen ever.
The little things that we don't see that eventually are going to become the big things.
Right,
Whereas
and they're
like all
using
these
these
other people are just bickering about the stupid shit right in front of their
and they're
face.
using those people to gain votes on this type of stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Like that $1 trillion COVID deal. Like,
Dude. And then people are like, "Oh, we got inflation out of control." Dude, you created the inflation by printing the money.
yeah, because you needed to pay your pharmacies because you needed the COVID vaccine and you needed to pay these people not to work
That
and
shit was a fucking scam anyways.
you needed to make sure welfare was you know 2 times higher than it was before. Now we have double the people on welfare and let's give
So
them
it makes the
the
people
money.
dependent on the government.
Think about this. We had probably double the people on welfare and then we gave them double the money. Like it doesn't make sense.
No, it was literally a ploy. All of it was a scam to one, do that, take
Like you
money
shouldn't
away
be
from
making
people,
more
to
money.
implement new laws, and then to also implement new restrictions. Dude, it's all was set up.
Yeah. And
And people
now
don't even realize that. And people are still getting blinded into getting the fifth COVID booster now.
the crazy thing is too now they admit to it being uh lab leak. Whereas like people literally if I even brought up lab leak on social media,
You
you would
would
get
get banned. The
canceled.
social media
Yeah.
companies would ban you for even saying
Yeah.
that. We might even be in gray territory, even mentioning that on YouTube,
And
bro. You gotta
no,
start dropping words on this.
it's actually out there that it's a 90% sure that it's COVID or lab leak.
That's why
The CDC
biosecurity,
even said it or whatever.
dude, that's why the biosecurity is the next big thing that a lot of these people are pushing for. It's because like if China could be a country, say it wasn't even a lab leak, say they created it as a bio weapon, we're in a whole different territory now, dude. That's why I think the government was even spending $1 billion on the
What
mRNA technology. One, they wanted to get it approved because they needed a way to actually be able to change people's DNA, which is also going against your human birthrights, dude. It's taking away from what you were born as a human and changing it.
what
People
about
don't see it that way.
getting a vaccine?
Yeah, that's what I've realized. It's come down to that. They needed a way to approve of these vaccines that will alter your DNA
Yeah,
because
but
the old way was working, but this is literally Fauci's own words. The old way was working, the tried and true, but we need to bring in the next thing. And then not even a year later, the COVID happened. Like, bruh.
I just didn't like how they canceled people that were talking about alternative like things. Like
I agree 100%.
nobody was promoting a healthy lifestyle at all. Like you're not going to die from this. Like
But people did.
I know they did, but like those were people like I mean, I'm not trying to be like mean about it, but like those are people that of course they were going to die from it. Like there are old people that have lung issues or they have some other sort of conditions that like whatever they got they would maybe die, you know, like whether it was COVID or some other pneumonia or whatever they get, I don't know, like uh, I mean, yeah, if COVID didn't exist, maybe they wouldn't have died. But like, I mean, they had other reasons too of why they died.
They also had other reasons why they're pushing all this stuff.
And one thing that was crazy to me is like people that had COVID, like they got COVID. Oh, but you still need the vaccine. Why? Why would I need the vaccine if I had COVID and now I am perfectly fine? If I know I can get COVID again and also then just be perfectly fine like I am right now, why the frick would I need a vaccine? I know I had COVID already. I'm good. I don't need it. I don't need the vaccine. I just beat it. If I get it again, well, guess what? I can beat it again. Well, you still need the vaccine. Like
Yeah,
what?
dude. And that's why I think they also use that as a way to push that mRNA onto people, like, and to just even see the results of it. You know, it's like, okay, we need to get large data pool on what's going to happen. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to calculate everybody. If you got the COVID vaccine, you're now in a government system that says you have the COVID vaccine. And like now they can just see what happens. They actually also been changing new laws that allows the government to access your healthcare records, uh, no questions asked, for research purposes. Like these are things that changed ever since COVID too. Like this is a whole new law that the government now has the ability to gain your medical record research for research purposes. And like whatever happened to the doctor patient private stuff, like you and your discussions with your doctor are a private conversation, and it's actually a thing when doctors get put into office. They basically swear on it like somebody who's in a court. Like you swear on this and that. You say I'm going to keep the patient confidentiality, and now all that stuff's public information for people who have the access.
Yeah. What's crazy is that like they got like a thing like the vaccine, like you can't like they're not liable for anything for like 90 years or whatever. Like
Dude, and not only that is that they actually have the patents for managing it. If you try to sell them or break them, they can go after you because it's government property. But as soon as it's injected into you, all liability goes out the window. So you're liable for everything that ever happens to a COVID vaccine up until the point that it gets injected. Then it's on you.
so what do
You
you
can't
mean
make this shit up, dude.
they're liable for it?
No, you as a person, say you got the COVID vaccine from the government and you broke it because you didn't want to take it. The government could
You
sue you
broke
for
it?
breaking the vaccine and not injecting it, and then, or they'll say you defrauded the government by taking the vaccine and damaging it because it was government property. But as soon as they inject it into you, you have all liability gone. Like they have no, they're like, that's not us. It's inside of you now. It's like not our property, but it's their property until it gets injected.
He's like, it's your property now. I'm sorry, man. I don't know what to. I don't know what.
Or was it so now you are government property?
Your Pfizer
Another
property.
thing.
Kyle's got that Johnson and Johnson in him.
I rejected all of that already, and I'm cleared out what I knew how to already, and I regret doing it from the bottom of my heart.
Dang. Yeah, dude. I'm glad I didn't do it. See, I knew businesses they couldn't do it. Like, you remember when they were trying to make businesses like saying you could get fired, and then like it kept getting pushed back and back and back, and then they finally made it ruling where you can't get fired after
Yeah,
they already injected everybody with the COVID vaccine. Now you can't get fired. So
dude.
it's
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
just a joke. The whole thing.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. If I feel like if you got fired, like for the COVID, like would it even be worth to sue them? Probably not. They wouldn't even get sued, but like they should be getting sued, you know? Like that's
Hmm.
why you should get sued because you got fired for that reason and it was illegal. But like,
That's a valid point, man.
I don't know. We've been ranting on for a long time now
Yeah,
about
we can end it.
about a lot of stuff. we've
We're about to
gone
get banned on YouTube for
we've
talking about
gone
this.
way off the rails, and if anybody ends up making it through all the way through this, you know, if you're that guy that goes from start to finish, like I'm that guy, you know, if you put
Subscribe if you're not already.
if you put something in the comment, if you maybe maybe throw a little couple things in there from this discussion.
Yeah, so we can give you some love because we did kind of go off, and I can't believe you stuck around for all that because we definitely offended some people. I
If
feel
you
today.
bring up a couple things from the start, and then maybe a couple controversial thing, if you give me a proof that you've been here the whole time, and maybe drop a one in the chat, the comments, just to say you were here through the whole thing, I might have a little something special for you on the next live. I'll make sure to have something in store.
That's nice of you to do that for your viewers.
Definitely. I mean, I know I'm the type of person that will. I like to watch a stream from the start to the finish while I'm at work. So I'm sure there's other people out there. I don't know if anybody's watching this, but if you are, I got maybe something for you.
Well,
But
that's nice. Hey, well, thanks for having me on, man. I don't know
oh
how
yeah,
this will play
definitely.
out long term. I hope your YouTube keeps growing. Peace and blessings, of course. We got family
I
connections,
just been
family
in.
ties. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of steered away from some shorts. I've been enjoying though. Still, I've been in a lot of other a lot of YouTube streams and just hanging out there. So I've been kind of enjoying my time there, and I don't know. I just been kind of just not really doing shorts for now, but I'll bring them back. And I've been enjoying doing these lives. Obviously, tonight was a nice long one because I haven't done them in a while, so it's kind of nice to get a nice long one in.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate you coming on, man. I mean, I know we hung out, but haven't really talked to you too much. So it's
Yeah, it's nice. It kind of gives us a chance to catch up on some of that stuff.
definitely, especially, I mean, I haven't really talked to you too much, so it was
Mm-hmm.
good to just catch up on some random stuff. I know we're still on the Discord and stuff, but uh, it's always good.
Yeah,
It's always good to talk to you, man.
yeah. Hey, well, thanks.
Definitely. If you want to shout out your channel at all, I mean, I know you've been on before, but I don't know if you want to just.
Yeah, if anybody made it this far, Coronado Brick House, you can find me on YouTube. I do Lego channels. I talk about mostly I do speedvilles, shorts, live streams on my builds. I just kind of talk about my Lego journey and I want to do more with it, but I just been so busy lately that I just haven't really put the time and effort into it as much as I have been, but it's been growing and I'll probably keep growing, so
Yeah, definitely. I think as long as you're having fun with it, it's keep it going. But as once it's
a job.
once it starts to become a task, maybe steer it back a little bit to
Right, and
make
that's
it
what
fun again.
happened, It
Make it
was like
fun.
a thing where it was like a thing every day and it was a lot, but it wasn't ever stressful and uh I don't know, it was just kind of a thing that just was part of my regular routine, but I definitely scaled it back because I was like, yeah, I'm just not gonna be doing all this right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you definitely have some cool stuff. So your builds are pretty dope. Not gonna lie.
Thanks.
So with that, we'll end it here. Appreciate everybody for watching, and everybody that hung out. We had some good people in the chat.
Yeah, I appreciate the regulars been coming by every time.
Yeah, and Basic Trainer made his appearance. I appreciate
Basic
Reed stopping
Basic
by.
Trainer made his appearance.
Basic Trainer made his
I
appearance.
didn't know that he was one of your regulars. That's kind of
No,
cool.
I don't know if he's really been on here much. I don't know if I've really seen him in the chat, but I know I've hung out in his chat a lot, and
Hmm.
he does those long hour live streams, which are pretty cool to hang out in. They're
And
all
he's
the
the only Pokemon man. We got on so many topics tonight. We went
Well,
on politics, COVID,
I mean,
religion.
that's just
We got
how it
on
goes.
Pokemon markets, Legos, like
When you're
schooling,
in a
5G
long
technologies. We went everywhere.
See, when you're like a big streamer though, like some of these guys, like say Pokenomics, for instance, you can read the chat and get questions from people and then just answer those questions, which is nice because then you constantly have a flow of like content in a way. So you're just reading questions of somebody, okay, here's a question, answer it. Another
That's why
question.
it was cool. It's cool to even have like people we know up in here. Like they just engage with our content. Like I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure the only person we didn't know in the chat was your boy,
was
like
basic trainer.
basic trainer. Otherwise, like we know everybody else that
Yeah,
commented.
even your boy Mitch.
Even my boy Mitch came in. Like, what? I didn't even know he followed you, but he just showed up to make his appearance. That's funny.
Yeah, it was a pretty good night. I enjoyed it. So
Yeah, I didn't expect it to go so long. It's already 10:30.
yeah,
I'm about to make
definitely.
me a root beer float and move on with
We had a
myself.
nice long one. Catch you later, man. I don't know. Maybe hang out this weekend if you're not doing anything.
Let me know. I'll be in town. So
Well, I'm going to the Rush Center on Saturday, so if you're
for
down,
Bud Night
no,
gambler game.
no, the collector Abelia.
Oh, gotcha.
But with that, deuces everybody.
Later.
Fat belly out.
Coronado.